To learn more, call 1-800-386-8018. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-386-8018 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-386-8018.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day. Late afternoon and evening thunderstorms. Some of those are likely to produce some heavy rain and some gusty winds. We'll see highs this afternoon in the mid-80s, and it feels pretty sticky out there, too. Overnight, we'll drop back into the mid-60s with a chance of a shower. And then tomorrow, we may see a few sprinkles in the morning. Once again, some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. It's a level 1 risk of severe storms for tomorrow afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 80s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 115 points to 38,790. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. Hour of the Drive brought to you by the Body Armor State Games, coming this June to Charlotte, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Tahoe will get to it. Back to the point. Shot, the score! Jacob Slavin tees it up from just inside the blue line, and it gets through Shesterkin. Now Natchez has sprung out in front, the score! Carolina with the opportunity, and Marty Natchez gets free and beats Shesterkin. Svechnikov across the ice, Burns a shot out in front. Oh, shoots, traffic out in front, they score! Seth Jarvis on the doorstep. A minute 45 left in the third.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox along with us. It's a Monday. Canes down 0-1. Second round, Rangers, they're down 0-1. First time this postseason they've been trailing in the series. Felt like the first time they really got punched in the mouth, right? And guess what? It's going to happen. Guess what? There's going to be a lot of punches in the mouths in both directions in this one.
Yeah, this series wasn't going to be easy. We all knew that going in.
Winning at Madison Square Garden is hard. Darn near impossible if you don't get at least equal play to your opponent in two categories, special teams and goaltending. You better win your power play. You better find a way to penalty kill. And you better have a goaltender that, especially when someone like Igor plays a little bit non-elite, that can match that. Not, it's a good way to put it, right? How Dennis just did, right? You knew we knew this going in. We knew this going in. Right? There's no way you can expect to play with a team like the Rangers without doing something on power play, especially with 5 opportunities. And you may be thinking like, oh, did they not do as well as they have been doing? Were they not elite? Were they not breaking the franchise record? No, they went 0 for 5. And then on the other side, their penalty kill gave up 2 goals and 2 opportunities. That's not easy to overcome. And not even, to focus on the 0 for 5 on power plays, right, when they have the advantage. it wasn't just 0 for 5. It was kind of the lack of real chances. It's not like they were peppering the goal with high leverage chances and Shesterkin was standing on his head or something like that. It was, again, something that we've seen in the past, a little precious, right? A little waiting for the absolute perfect opportunity to attack rather than forcing the issue and seeing what happens. Rod Brindamore, post-game on special teams being the difference.
A couple, kills we didn't quite execute right, and they did. They did. They made their 3 quick passes and hit it, and we were just a step off, and that's the difference. So it's tough because we played pretty hard, and I thought overall, as actually the game got on, we got a little better. But that's the difference.
I would say definitely as the game went along, you got better. Problem was you dug yourself a little bit of a hole, and you couldn't quite get yourself all the way out of it.
Kind of a deep one.
Yeah. Crater somewhere, I might call it a well of some kind that you were trying to dig yourself out of. More on the special teams battle. Here's Tony D'Angelo.
It's one game. They did a nice job. They executed 2 real nice plays. I thought we did a pretty good job on our power play. There was just, it didn't go in tonight. So that's why you play 7 games.
That's the way a player should think about it, right? It's not like, hey, you beat us in the first, we're never going to be able to win. No, it's why you play 7 games. There's almost two issues there, though. The penalty kill, quick, right? It wasn't the holes in the boat were found very quickly in the penalty kill, right? It's not right at the end, right before it expires, you let your foot off the gas. The Rangers found a way to score quickly on your penalty kill. That can't happen. That's almost more demoralizing when it's like, all right, you hit the box. All right, come out of the box. You gave up the goal. It's like, I barely even got to sit down. What is going on here?
Didn't even get a chance to drink some water. What?
You're not going to be able to win with that being your penalty kill and that being your power play. But we knew that. You knew going into the game you weren't going to be able to just, push around the Rangers.
That was when we did Hurricanes and cons last week. What was my concern?
PK.
Penalty kill.
Yep.
Because I didn't think it was that good against the Islanders. It was only, 72%, 73% against the Islanders, who have one of the worst power plays in the entire league. Oh, now you got to go against the 3rd best with all those stars that they have on their team? You don't want to be taking penalties, especially on the road. Sure enough, it burned you twice. If you look at the 0 for 5 on the power play and the 0 for 2 on the penalty kill, you're 0 for 7 on special teams yesterday. 0 for 7. And you still only lost by 1.
If you're 0 for 7 losing by 1 is the key there. But if you're 0 for 7 against the Islanders, I would be concerned. I'd be going, I don't think you win that game, right? And that's
but against the Islanders, you can get away with it.
You can get away with it. Even that, 0 for 7, that's pretty rough. And then Freddie didn't have a great game. I wouldn't say Shesterkin had his best game, but he was better than Freddie-ish. When Igor has a not elite game, you can't let that still be an advantage for the Rangers. When he has a not elite game, you have to at least match it. The final goal by Freddie, week 1, right? A little softy. And that one was the backbreaker, right? That was the one that was like, oh, so you had crawled all the way back. You had gotten it there. It's going to be very difficult to win in Madison Square Garden against the Rangers if you don't have a better showing in those 2 very key areas. Your special teams have to be better. Your goaltending has to be better. Are there other things we can nitpick? Yes. Face-off, again, became a thing that they didn't win at the level you'd like, although they were above 50%, but still, certain situations they weren't as good.
The 2 power play goals, you lost the face-offs clean. That's the thing. You can't lose face-offs clean on a PK. Just can't.
Badly timed penalties. Enter Mr. Svechnikov into the conversation. Like, there were things to nitpick, but from a 20,000 feet big picture angle, 0 for 7 on the special teams. Giving them up quick on penalty kill, not getting the amount of pure chances and high leverage chances that you'd expect in the power play. And then goaltending, if you do that, Game one is what game one is. The good news is what you heard from D'Angelo, right? Because it happened in game one doesn't mean it has to happen in game two. There are things you can change. You can come back better. You're going to play next game, and you don't start at a deficit at 0-0. Now, I would say don't, start faster. And what I mean by that is get locked in earlier. There's a part of me that thinks this Canes team has a little bit of Seabiscuit in them, right? The legendary Seabiscuit a movie motivation where you have to let Seabiscuit fall behind in a horse race. By the way, shout out to Mystic Dan of the Kentucky Derby. What a finish there. But the legendary kind of made-for-movie elements of Seabiscuit is you got to let him fall behind early so he gets motivated and takes off, and then he never loses. The Canes feel like they have a little bit of that. They don't play their best hockey until they taste their own blood. If you look in round one, when did they play their best hockey? The second and third periods in game two, which is when they were down 3-0 at the beginning of game two. And then in game five, they played their best hockey. What happened right before that? They lost game four. This Canes team feels like they might have to taste their own blood a little bit before they fight back to the best of their ability. I hope that's not the case because it's really frustrating to have to go down a bunch before they wake up. I thought when Slavin scored the answer, right, that first one, what's going on here? Slavin hit the answer. I was like, all right, we're back. Now go play great hockey.
It was minute 2 seconds, like, Canes, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Ended up being a little bit more difficult than that. Ended up not being they woke up, right? So can you chalk it up to a break? Maybe. I mean, the Rangers had a longer break. Maybe the Canes just need to get in rhythm. We'll see. Game 2 tomorrow. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We are going to take a break, but first, here's Dennis.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. This month, by the way, National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month is the month of May. And as someone who rides a motorcycle, I didn't take my bike into work today. You know why? Because I was like, hey, there's a chance of thunderstorms and stuff later. I don't want to be caught out in that kind of mess. So you know what? You play it safe. You play it safe anytime you're out there on a motorcycle. But here's the thing as well. If you ever are in an accident, because this is riding season, the weather's getting warmer, a lot of more bikes out on the road. If you are ever in an accident, call Law Tigers first before you call your insurance company. Because here's the thing. Law Tigers, they're riders too. So they know exactly what you're going through when it comes to an accident. So call Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company, they want to pay you the least amount of money possible. Law Tigers, again, they're riders too. They understand exactly what your bike and your gear are worth to you and what you're going through when it comes to an accident. Your case evaluation, by the way, is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back to talk more about the Canes' Game 1 loss to the Rangers, specifically the first 10 minutes. What was extremely obvious in the first 10 minutes, the first half of the first period? I'll tell you next.
Canes fans, Cane on.
Let's go Canes!
Let's go Canes!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go Hurricanes!
Go Canes!
Let's go Canes!
Guentzel with a second try. Swim against it. They score!
Rebound score. Seth Jarvis.
What a save by Andersen.
Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Get loud for me. Hey homeowners, this is Keith Gregory with Home Exteriors by Baker Roofing. We have a lot of new neighbors moving to our area, and as a company that was founded in Raleigh in 1915, we would like to formally welcome you home. Our history of excellence is best summed up in our commitment. We shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. To learn more about our roofing, siding, window, door, and gutter services, visit bakerroofing.com.
Experience the thrill at Youngsville Gun Club and Range, the only live fire digital indoor shooting range on the East Coast. Hey, it's Victoria Vodenecker here for Youngsville Gun Club and Range, which is open to the public, offering 20 modern shooting lanes and one of the largest selections of guns and ammo around. Don't miss their free festival on May 18th with bouncy houses, food trucks, competitions, and special discounts. Youngsville Gun Club and Range is conveniently located off US 1 in Youngsville, and for $10 off a range card, use promo code SPORTS. Learn more at ygunrange.com. That's the letter Y, gunrange.com.
On average, people spend over a third of their life sleeping, yet most sleep disorders go undiagnosed.
I'm Megan Gigling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sleep struggles left untreated can lead to health problems and have a serious effect on your quality of life. We've served the Triangle for 20 years. Let us help you get the sleep you've been dreaming of.
If you're in need of a sleep study, a knowledgeable doctor, CPAP machine, or supplies, Parkway has you covered. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Sick of the same old Friday night? Get out of your rut and get up to Roxborough for this. You kick back and enjoy. They race for cash prizes. Everyone has a great time at Roxborough Motorsports Park. Come out Friday nights for Freaky Friday. Gates open at 5. Races start at 6. Roxborough Motorsports Park. 65 years in business and still bringing folks from all over for weekly races, dirt drags, live music, and more. Now it's your turn to discover the excitement. Check out this week's schedule at roxboroughmotorsportspark.com.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Calling all Caniacs, Carolina Ale House is your official Canes watch party headquarters. Every away game, join the Canes to cause chaos at Carolina Ale House's downtown Raleigh location. Enjoy an ice-cold beer and hang out with the Canes crew and Stormy. With TVs on every wall, every seat is a front row seat. Come get your favorite wings, grab an R&D Storm Brew, and watch the playoffs with us at Carolina Ale House. All Caniacs and all ages are welcome. Go Canes!
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Sunday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to be qualifying 2 more contestants for our 10K playoff payout today. 2?
Let's go.
4 o'clock and 4:33 are the times.
Okay.
So at 4 o'clock, we'll qualify a contestant, and at 4:33, we will qualify a contestant. Again, the entire 10K playoff payout is driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer. If you want the chance at the playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000, 4 o'clock and 4:33, you want to be tuned in right here to 99.9 The Fan.
2 chances. I like it.
2 of them. Deuce. Duo. 2. The Canes, game 1, they lost. Second round series, duo. Never mind. Second round series. This is what the first 10 minutes proved. We knew it was. We had our thoughts. We had our guesses. The first 10 minutes of that game proved that the second round is not for the weak, meek, and mild. Right? It's not for the soft. Buckle up, get ready to play. The first 10 minutes were a toughness check from both teams. right? It was both teams saying, let me see if I can bully you. Because if either team learned that they could bully the other in that first 10 minutes, they weren't going to take the foot off the gas. And that's not even to say they were testing to see quality of play or they were testing to see, can you keep up on the scoreboard? It was very much a check of like the look in your eye. We're going to hit you. We're going to hit you. We're going to put you into the boards. We're going to harass you. We are going to flirt with the line between penalty and no penalty. And if you flinch, we got you. The first 10 minutes were a toughness check from both teams. And as a rule, you have to be able to pass those physicality checks, those physicality tests in any contact sport. You have to pass the test, and you can't lose your cool. If you do that, let's play hockey. Penalties were taken. Whether you think they were good calls or bad calls, penalties were taken. Here's Rod Brindamore on the penalties.
Yeah, I don't know, especially I don't know what else you want to do there. He's fighting for a puck, so that's certainly not a discipline penalty. And then Kuzi's, he liked to have that back, but the guy did it to him, and then it's one of those you always catch the second guy. He knows better. And then Tony's was more. I mean, I don't know if the guy doesn't fall, it's probably not called. So I can't. That's not a discipline penalty for me. The puck was there, but yeah, like I say, we don't want to take any penalties.
Here's the thing. I agree with his assessment of the two penalties. Kuzi, you got to be better.
Yeah, that one was bad.
I mean, when they played the replay, it was like, no, let me see. Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fair.
Yep. All right. He's lucky it was only 2.
Tony DeAngelo's penalty seemed like everybody disagreed with. From the in-studio broadcasters to everybody on Twitter that I saw to probably, if you really listen to it there, Rod Brindamore. Nobody agreed with it. But here's the thing. In a game that is going to be played as physical as it was, and you're going to be getting up and down the ice, and both teams are comfortable really, really getting after it, whether it's a good call, a bad call, the right call, the wrong call, whether it's a hustle error, a mental error, whether you were trying to send a message, you weren't trying to send a message, you have to pass the mental check of the next moment. The Tony DeAngelo, great, it's a bad call. The replay made no sense to me, right? They had Natchez in the box. They went to the review. They took Natchez out. They put DeAngelo in. Didn't even know you could do that. Part of me thinks you shouldn't be able to, and you can't. But it happened. Once you realize, all right, that's the deal. You're not changing it. Go kill the penalty. Right? That's the next step. You're going to be in these games, and as they draw on, right, a 7-game series, you're playing the same team every game, which means all the little personal rivalries build up. Hey, remember when you hit Seth Jarvis into the boards in game 1? It's not like the next day you're playing someone else. The next game you're playing that same guy, and you remember it and they remember it. Hey, remember, Kuzi, cross-check to the face. Well, guess what? You're playing the guy that you cross-check to the face the next game. It's only going to ramp up from here, right? It's only going to get more and more and more. You can be physical. You can send messages. You can not forget those things, right? You can be an elephant with your memory and still understand, okay, now it's about killing the penalty. We'll come back to that. Let's kill the penalty. Right? You can be physical, and Andrei Svechnikov can still understand that when you pull your goalie because you're down 1 late in the game and you have a power play, so it's really like a 2-man advantage, the absolute last thing you can do is give the ref a chance to blow his whistle and take away your advantage and send you back to your side of the ice, so they have to re-bring the goalie out, and now all of a sudden it's like you gave 2 players back. You have to understand that there is a fine line between playing a physical game and letting it get to you. You have to be fired up enough to fight back and calm down enough to still play with brains. I'm fine with sending messages, okay? Within the rules, send the messages how you want to send the messages with your physical play, but don't make a message above winning. The priority always has to be execute the play at hand. If then on top of that you can find your spaces to win the toughness battle, I'm fine with that. I mean, when the double hit against Jarvis into the boards, I'm sure I felt like everybody else, right? Somebody's gonna have to answer for that. That's the way sports works. I played college football. I remember times where I thought a hit was laid on me. I was the quarterback, and one of my favorite people in the world, Gino Gradkowski, who was one of my offensive linemen, went on to be a Super Bowl champ with the Ravens, came up to me, helped me up, and he would just say, "What number?" And I would let him know. Number 50. Sometimes I would just let him know the biggest, scariest guy.
Yeah, just that one.
45, I think it was. I didn't catch the license plate on the truck, but yeah, him. And the thing I loved about Gino is it could be like a quarter later, right? But it would be the right opportunity. It would be when that guy was blitzing. It would be when Gino was pulling. He would find his shot within the framework of the game, and then he would come let me know. It'd be like 2.5 quarters later. He'd be like, "Hey, 45, right? Don't worry, I got him for you." I'm like, "You've been thinking about it this whole time?" That's what you do. And that's what the Canes can do. It's just, guess what? On that next play, if Gino had a really difficult block to make, he wasn't worried about sending any messages. He was worried about executing his job, which was the most important thing.
Get back and come later.
Yeah, and it will. I mean, it's hockey. You're going to have your opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be guys skating around, and you're going to have your chance. And with it being a 7-game series, it might not even be this game. You know you got them on Tuesday, too. And you know you got them at home later this week, which is a whole different beast. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. A surprise signing by the Carolina Panthers is something I have to bring up when we come back. But first, I'm Tim Donnelly for Fox & Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. I can't get enough of their Omega Boutique. You walk in, you go to the left. It's crisp white, the whole boutique is. You feel like you're walking onto like a showroom floor, but then on top of that, you look at the timepieces, right? You look at the watches. They have the Seamaster, they have the Speedmaster, they have the Constellation, they have the DeVille. They have some of the coolest watches, most iconic watches, if that's what you're looking for, right? They have showstoppers. You walk in the room, everybody goes, "Oh, what's on their wrist?" They also have if you know watches. Right? Watches that maybe if you want to be a bit more understated, but you know that the 5 or 6 people in the party that do understand timepieces are going to walk up to you and go, "Oh, you've got one of those watches." They got a little bit of everything. It is a space that pays tribute to the early days of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, meaning the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop. The Omega Boutique, like I said, it's a showroom, but it's so much cooler than that. It's the second largest Omega Boutique of its kind in the entire industry. They're the official Olympic timekeeper with the Olympics coming up. The official watch of NASA. I mean, it's all right there inside their Omega Boutique at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located inside their Village District location. As I said, the Panthers made a surprise expected signing, has to pass some physicals and stuff today. I'll tell you who they are agreeing to terms with and what it means for the team coming up after this.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline, 877-718-5543.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No, but she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our Cookie Two-Step Ice Cream is a creamy vanilla ice cream with hints of brown sugar, chunks of chocolate cream-filled cookies, and tasty chocolate chip cookie dough pieces. Cookie Two-Step has everybody's taste buds two-stepping, and 1 and 2.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream, available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Don't sweat a swing and a miss thanks to insurance tokens from BetMGM. Hey, it's Victoria Vodnecker here for BetMGM, and you can add an MLB wager to your bet slip and activate your bet insurance token. If your bet with the token applied doesn't hit, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to the specified maximum amount. That's another chance to step up to the plate. Whether you want to bet on a no-run first inning, try a signature bet, or take a home run prop, BetMGM has a loaded lineup for all 9 innings all season long. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your bet insurance token and get your stake back in bonus bets if your MLB wager using the token doesn't win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older only. North Carolina only. Existing customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
Contractors, when you're trying to stay competitive, every dollar counts. Consider Habitat for Humanity for your new cabinets and kitchen design services. Habitat for Humanity Restores now sells brand new solid wood cabinets, high quality and manufactured locally, available in multiple styles and color options. Everybody wins because you save money and can stay competitive, which keeps your customers happy, and sales benefit Habitat for Humanity home projects. Learn more about custom cabinet orders from Triangle Restores at trianglerestores.org.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just when you thought the Panthers had enough running backs. No. You can't have too many running backs.
Nope. Mm-mm.
You just can't.
Nope. In a pass-happy league, can't have enough running backs.
In a pass-happy league, that's even better, right? In modern football, when everything is based on 4 wide receiver sets, the Panthers go against the trend and bring in 900 running backs.
We're beefing up the O-line.
Yeah, when everyone wants tackles, the Panthers go against the trend, beef up the interior of their offensive line. They're not worried about protecting Bryce Young's blind spot. They're worried about running 33 ISO. They want the fullback up the A-gap. Rashaad Penny, expected to be signed by the Panthers following rookie minicamp once he's able to pass a physical. You may say, Rashaad Penny, I vaguely remember that name from somewhere. You are right. He is a former first-round pick, and he spent most of his career, if not all of his career. Oh, no, because he was with the Eagles last year. He spent most of his career with the Seattle Seahawks, where he spent time with Dave Canales. I think how many actually, Dennis, this is a good question for you.
Okay.
How many of the stones are there in Thanos' little
6
gauntlet?
Infinity
6
Stones.
All right, well then they still need one more.
Okay.
They have the 5 stones. They have the guy that knows the system, Rashaad Penny.
Okay.
They have the high-priced veteran,
That'd be the
Miles
Mind
Sanders.
Stone. Okay, yep.
They have the journeyman grinder, Chuba Hubbard. They have the high draft pick young guy, Jonathan Brooks. They have the pass-catching project, Raheem Blackshear. They just need one more. I don't know what else they're missing. Maybe it is
Well, it's Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen.
There it is. He's number 6. He could be the Soul Stone.
But he can be the Soul Stone because
he's been around longer than anyone else.
He's the
old soul.
He's been through a lot. He's powered through. There you go. Add Tariq Cohen in as the soul bringer / potential return man, and you have all 6 Infinity Stones of running backs for the Carolina Panthers. Do you know what this tells me? By any means necessary, whatever it takes, they are going to get the running game going. And they may have looked at their roster and said, we don't have a 3-down back. They said, let's get one for every situation.
One for every down and a backup.
They don't want to have a single play in their playbook they can't run because they don't have the dude to do it. They want every specific skill set. Do you know what it's feeling like? And do you ever do Ultimate Frisbee?
I've played it before.
Okay. I remember, I've never really played like an actual go out there. Obviously, I've thrown a Frisbee. But I remember being flabbergasted when I learned that they have different Frisbees, like golfers have different clubs. They have like the driver. They have the real heavy one.
You're talking like disc golf.
Disc golf. That's what
okay, yeah.
You're right. I meant
okay, yes.
Yeah, I meant disc golf. I said Ultimate Frisbee. I actually have played Ultimate Frisbee, but I was thinking disc golf in my head the whole time. I'm thinking disc golf. They have like different Frisbees.
Yeah.
I thought you would only use a Frisbee. I thought the game was to do it like with the Frisbee that we used in like recess. And then I learned they have all these different ones. You go to a store, they have just a billion of them. I kind of feel like the Panthers are taking that style of running back. It's like I thought you would just get a Christian McCaffrey and you just kind of did everything with Christian McCaffrey. Right? That was the goal. I understand there's more and more committees and it's becoming more and more specialized, but I always thought the goal was to have the do-it-all back, right? To have the Saquon Barkley, to have the Bijan Robinson, right? To have the Derrick Henry, to have the guy that you could do it all with, because I thought that gave you and I don't say I thought, I knew, it gives you an ability to be more mysterious, right? Right now, if I look at the Panthers running backs, especially with Rashaad Penny in there, I'm thinking if Rashaad Penny is in there, it's some kind of pass block. Why? Because they brought him in and he has a history with Dave Canales, and the hardest thing to pick up in a new offense is pass blocking. So you bring in the guy that knows the offense because you trust him in those situations. Right? If Jonathan Brooks is out there, I assume it's a run. Why? Because he's a rookie and it's hard to pick up the rest. It's hard to pick up pass concepts. It's hard to pick up pass protection. But you can turn and hand it to him. If it's Chuba Hubbard, probably going to be a grind. Right? You're probably going off tackle somewhere.
4 yards.
If it's Miles Sanders, I assume somebody else is hurt and he's filling in.
If he's around.
If it's Raheem Blackshear, you're probably splitting him out. The challenge now is these guys have skill sets that you can pigeonhole. We just did it. So if you have 6 running backs with different skill sets, the challenge is for Dave Canales not to become predictable based on who they put in at running back. But you better believe they're going to run the darn ball. The more and more this offseason goes on, the more and more I think it's going to be like Pistons. I don't know where that came from. Titans is what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay.
It's always these Mondays. It takes me a while to get rolling. See, it's like the Canes.
It's like first period. Yeah,
you go on like 4 or 5 days off. All of a sudden, for me, it's like 2 days off. The first 10 minutes, a lot of sloppy play. The Titans with Derrick Henry levels of we're just going to run the ball, and we're going to throw it when we need to. Do you remember that one year Ryan Tannehill was like the most efficient passer in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say he led the NFL probably minimum, 50 attempts or something like that, in passer rating. And everyone was like, whoa. And then you recognize, well, every single play the defense was stacking the box to try to stop Derrick Henry, and they still ran the ball a ton, right? Sounds like, smells like, seems like the Panthers are trying to do that for Bryce Young. Bryce Young's efficiency stats will go through the roof this year. Why? Because they're running the ball 75% of the time, and every time Bryce Young throws it, it's going to be a big surprise. Every single time, a little play action, you're going to hear defensive backs going, oh, bleep, because they were crashing to make a tackle. I saw somebody on Twitter went back and found the first 3 plays of Dave Canales calling plays in Tampa. All right? So Dave Canales has been a assistant coach in Seattle forever, position coach, which means you have suggestion power, but not really play calling power, right? You can say, hey, I think this play would work, but then someone else has to decide when to run it.
Yeah, he had the title of pass game coordinator for a short bit too.
His first 3 plays as a play caller. Like, coaches work their entire lives to get to call plays as an NFL play caller, right? He gets to do the thing. Like, he's playing real-life Madden up there. Only the offensive plays, which is really the only fun parts of Madden, right? Like, do you know what he did? Run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. First 3 plays. Been working his whole life to get in that situation. Run, 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 and then left him with like a 4th and a half yard. He got 2 yards, 6 yards, 2.5 yards, and said, all right, go figure it out. I did the math wrong there. 2 yards, 5 yards, 2.5 yards. Is that better?
Yeah, that checks out.
They are going to run the darn ball. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up another running back. Who else is out there? They're going to be looking. Undrafted free agent, they're going to be looking.
Why not?
Why not? Because they already have 6.
Well, I think they already did sign an undrafted free agent.
Well, they brought one. Yeah, but making more of a
just
roster.
More of them?
Yeah. Making more of the roster, because right now it's gigantic. And I'm sure all these guys won't make it, but they're going to find, I don't know, their favorite 4 or 5. That's absurd.
Is Miles Sanders gone?
We had this conversation. I think he's near the bottom of the totem pole as far as like who they prioritize, but I don't think they can move on money-wise. If you move on pre-June 1, he counts actually $3 million more against the cap than he would this year if he plays. Goes from like 7.5 roughly to over 10. And if they designate him a post-June 1 cut, he still counts 7.4 or something like that against this year's cap. So his agent has made a contract that is nearly undroppable. So I think he plays. But I don't think – I think if Jonathan Brooks is healthy, it's probably Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks at the top. Depending on how healthy Rashaad Penny is, it might be Penny and then Sanders. If Penny's not healthy, then obviously Sanders jumps him. Running backs. Think they could trade Miles Sanders?
Who will want him?
Dallas.
Dallas does need one.
Have Zeke Elliott and Miles Sanders and say, hey, if this were 4 years ago, you'd be pretty excited.
He would be.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm going to metaphorically talk some UNC basketball fans off the ledge quickly here.
Okay.
UNC missed out on Cliff Omoyori, who was one of the best 5 men, one of the best centers in the transfer portal. He was out of Rutgers. Defensive big, very, very good rebounder, quality player, committed to Alabama. I don't know why UNC fans are so terrified of this. I watched a complete implosion of, oh no, what are we going to do on social media? I watched it in real time. It was one of those deals where I was just refresh, and watching it build upon itself and snowball into something more serious. And then other fans, right, rivals fans started jumping in and going, what are you going to do now? You didn't get Cliff. And I wanted to jump in, but I try to avoid getting in the dirt and the mud with the trolls. I wanted to just jump in and go, relax. You're going to be fine, North Carolina. This is a much bigger deal for Alabama than it is for North Carolina, despite all the noise. Right? If Mark Sears and a couple other guys end up staying around at Bama and they add to this particular big man, they become a title contender. But UNC is far from out of contention. Which, by the way, what I'm doing right now is bad for business for us, right? I am tamping down panic. Panic is usually good for interaction. Don't panic. UNC just got a return announcement from the best shooting guard in college basketball in R.J. Davis. And that's not just me talking. That's the Jerry West Award that goes to the best shooting guard in college basketball. Every other transfer is hoping to be all conference. You're returning the Conference Player of the Year. That just happened. I know it's not technically a transfer portal move, but R.J. Davis is the biggest name to come out of the transfer portal. Oh, and you got a return from Seth Trimble, who I think is a underrated player. And you got a commitment out of the transfer portal from Cade Tyson, who's a 6'7" shooter. Now, Jalen Washington is your starting five-man right now. Not the greatest thing in the world. Not the end of the world. And here's the thing. The offseason's not over. I did a light peruse. I don't even know if that's a term. I did a very under-the-radar kind of wander around the transfer portal. 6'10" power forward Coleman Hawkins out of Illinois. 6'9" power forward JT Toppin out of New Mexico. 6'9" power forward Acor. Apologize on the pronunciation if it's incorrect, from Sanford. 6'10" power forward Trayvon Brazil from Arkansas. And I could go on. These are players that are near the top of the transfer portal right now who I would be very surprised if they would not take a call from Hubert Davis. But I'm going to go down even further. Here's the name that I'm trying to – I'm not even trying to manifest it. I'm just using this name as an example of relax your worry train a little bit, right? Ugonna Onyenso.
Okay.
He is the 90th best transfer according to ESPN right now.
All right.
7-foot sophomore center.
Tall.
From Kentucky.
Okay.
Elite recruiting pedigree from his recruiting days.
Sure.
This is the description of him on ESPN.com right now. An elite shot blocker, Onyenso, led the SEC in block rate and was top 15 in both offensive and defensive rebounding percentage, averaged 2.8 blocks in less than 19 minutes per game. For a team like North Carolina, who has the scoring, right? R.J. Davis has the scoring, Cade Tyson, you just brought out, has the scoring, has so many of the other things. You need a rim protector and rebounding. You need toughness down low. He's sitting right there, and he's the 90th best transfer, according to ESPN. If UNC wants a big, they can go get a big. If they want to just shoot for the moon, knowing that if they miss, they can keep coming down the list, I'm fine with that. If you wanted to fire for the guy from Rutgers, who everyone said was one of the best bigs in the country, I'm fine. No, you have an off season to find your five, and there are other options out there. But don't, and maybe this is a new thing with the portal where fans talk themselves into one specific guy being the key piece.
Mm-hmm.
Trust your coaches a little bit to be able to work around different skill sets. If you get a big guy that wants to score 14 a game, you're going to have to coach up everyone differently than if you get a big guy who wants to score 6 a game but bring in 14 rebounds. Trust Hubert Davis a little bit. Hubert Davis built a number 1 seed this past year. They were a 1 seed in the tournament by picking the right guys to build around a core out of the portal. They were not the flashiest names. Harrison Ingram was a former 5-star recruit, but he was not the flashiest name in the portal. Cormac Ryan was not the flashiest guy in the portal. They picked the right guys to build around a core that was known. UNC still has a core that is known.
And a darn good one.
Exactly. There's a different, like, there are teams out there that they hit the portal knowing, like, we gotta get the dude, right? And there's not going to be unlimited the dudes in the portal, right? There's not going to be unlimited all-conference players in the portal. And if you need an all-conference player, you got to go, like, that's high pressure, right? You enter into a recruiting battle, you better win it. But if you're a team that already has the core, the dudes, there are options for different ways to fill in around that. And Jalen Washington is and Withers and like the youngster whose name there's a Z in his name that's really getting to me. That's gonna annoy me.
Zayden High?
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Dennis. That's why we keep you around.
Yep.
Like there are much worse things than playing those guys, in a rotation and figuring it out. I'm not worried about North Carolina basketball for next year. And I'm not used to seeing North Carolina basketball fans hit the panic button that quickly. Usually they're like quiet, confident, even when they're panicking on the inside. There's some like, well, we'll be fine. I want that back. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of wanting come back, bounce back.
Bounce backs?
Freddie Andersen.
Oh, yeah.
Canes goalie. Started every game for them through the 6 games in the postseason thus far. I expect we'll see him again tomorrow. Needs a bounce-back game. That's probably the nicest way you can possibly say Game 1 wasn't that good.
No.
You need a bounce-back game. That's right, you'll bounce back. It's like, was it bad? You'll bounce back.
I think the real soft one was the fourth one. The Artemi Panarin goal when Carolina made it 3-2 and you're pushing for the comeback. He let one leak through, and it was a soft one.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably tell you the exact same thing.
Looked like
it was
going to
soft
hit
goal.
him in the chest.
It was just right between the arm, off the chest, and the arm, just squeaked through right on his right side. That's all it was, and it wasn't like a difficult shot. Wasn't screened. Like the power play goals were just, again, breakdowns in front of him, but also a combination of just great play by the Rangers. And the first goal that was allowed with Zibanejad coming down the middle, it was Teuvo Teravainen just not marking up. As simple as that. You're just going to let Zibanejad come right down the middle of the ice. Like, well, yeah, I don't
Head
put
on a
that
swivel.
on.
Look around. See something, Teuvo.
Just knowing your assignment. It's or just, communicating on who's picking up who. It's really all it is. So I don't put the first 3 on Freddie, but the last one was the soft one, which was kind of the dagger. It's like you're pushing. You got it to 3-2. You just needed a chance just for one shot at the end to tie it.
And I talk about this with Freddie often, right? Because we've had some people on our social medias and YouTube and things point out to me that Freddie, that one wasn't even that great a shot. That one was a soft. But what he also has done is he's had the highlight reels to like, all right, maybe he gave up one that he shouldn't, but he stopped 2 that he shouldn't either.
Exactly.
So he's ahead. There really wasn't that super-duper highlight to counteract the softie in that one. So, yeah, Freddie needs to get back to playing his way. What I will say is, and this is tough to come from me because I'm somebody that advocated for the rotation early in the postseason, it's his net, right? There's no cavalry coming. Part of the reason why I think you do kind of choose Freddie and roll with him, even though Pyotr Kochetkov played so well in the regular season, is to give him the confidence, right? You're our guy. If you have a bad game, it's still your net. Nobody else has played in goal this postseason, right? So, the leash is long, if you will. It's Freddie's net, and I think that will bode well towards a bounce back. Right? There's something to be said for you let a soft goal in. You don't have a 90-plus save percentage, right? You are on the road and lose the game, and yet you're going to have a chance to avenge that. We're seeing a couple situations in the postseason across the NHL where it feels like you're watching a tennis match with what goaltender's in the game. You're left, right. Right? It's Boston was there. What was it? John Wall not starting. Like there's some ins and outs with the goaltenders that the Canes, part of the advantage of just playing Freddie is they've avoided all of that. Now he has to back them up, right? Rod Brindamore put all his faith, all of his backing, all of his confidence into Freddie Andersen. Now Freddie Andersen needs to back up that faith, that confidence, that support by showing up in game 2 and being better, bouncing back, coming up with the highlight save, and not allowing the soft ones. Is that too much to ask against the Rangers?
Not really.
I don't think so. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Window Nation. It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale. Ready for this? 50% off all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 years and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. Did you get all that? 50% off windows, all styles, 0% interest, 5 years, and an additional bonus if you schedule your appointment this week. I'll give you the number to call to do just that in a second. Window Nation, you may hear similar offers from other home improvement companies, but here's why I trust Window Nation. They are truly window experts. They have professional installation teams, all have at least 10 years of experience, a 50-point inspection, 50-point inspection on every window before it leaves the factory, and a 20-point installation inspection on every window. You want some more stats? 96% consumer satisfaction rating. 96% of the windows installed require no follow-up service. They can install your new windows in 1 day or less. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. That's like infinity would be the number, I guess. Lifetime warranty. Window Nation's, they've taken care of so many people, and they can take care of you as well. So go ahead and give them a call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Their semi-annual sale, 50% off all windows, all styles, 0% interest for 5 years, and an additional bonus discount for booking your appointment this week. You can do so at windownation.com. That's windownation.com. Football at 4 is coming up next. Some might say heads are rolling out of the Carolina Panthers facility. And we're going to qualify someone for the 10K playoff payout right now. Be caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. You'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Caller number 9 right now, 919-860-5326. If you miss out on this one, we'll be doing it again at 4:33. Driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today. We qualify a contestant. We talk Panthers coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I got to go leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza's from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store, and when you think of high-impact professionals in our community, who comes to mind? For me, nurses are right at the top of the list, given their care for my loved ones over the years. At the Good Feet Store, we often engage with nurses who are battling with pain in their feet, knees, and back, and they come to the Good Feet Store looking for relief. Here is Donna, a nurse sharing her story of what she experienced after visiting the Good Feet Store.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have struggled with pain in my feet. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. With the 3-step program, it really fits to your lifestyle. I'm a registered nurse, so being on my feet, walking throughout the hospital during the day, I am free from any type of pain. And after working a 12-hour shift, I go home and my feet do not hurt.
Whether you're a nurse or anyone wanting to enjoy your career without your feet getting in the way, come see us at the Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we know our members go above and beyond every single day. That's why this Military Appreciation Month, instead of hearing special thank you messages from us, we thought you might want to hear them from your friends and family.
I'm Ben from Navy Federal Credit Union. This Military Appreciation Month, I'd like to shout out to my first mentor, Stephen from the United States Marine Corps.
Happy Military Appreciation Month. I'm giving a shout out to two of my very good friends for the last 20 years. Jason, Kansas, thank you for your service, and carry on, my friends.
I want to give a shout out to my brother AZ1 RG Castillo. Thank you for all that you do for family and country. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
Hi, I want to give a shout out to my friend Colin, who's currently serving in the Army. Thanks for all you do. Happy Military Appreciation Month.
And from all of us here, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
Autobell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autobell for just $55.
People can tell when you Autobell.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's going to be a wet pattern that sticks with us for the rest of the week. So this afternoon, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially closer to the evening commute. We'll see a high in the mid-80s for today. Showers and storms taper off tonight. Lows will be in the mid-60s. And then we get cranked up again tomorrow. We'll see a high of 88 degrees with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, along with a level 1 risk for severe storms.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 175 points to 38,851. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Charlotte, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Jimmy in Morrisville is on the line, getting ready to hopefully qualify for our 10K playoff payout. He'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Jimmy, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you do have to answer one very simple question. This is not a trick question, but you have to answer it correctly to be qualified, okay?
All right.
Did the Hurricanes win or lose Game 1 of their second-round series against the Rangers?
They lost.
And you said that with the appropriate tone of voice. You are officially qualified for the 10K playoff payout. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go. go ahead and sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you, but you will have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps share $10,000. For everyone else that is not Jimmy from Morrisville, you'll have another chance to qualify at 4:33.
Half hour, folks.
We are going to be looking for another contestant here today. The 10K playoff payout driven by your Carolina Ford dealer for great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. It's always fun to do that. It's a good time. Let's go ahead and jump into football 4.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Panthers are not done changing what I'm calling the guts of their organization. And they won't be for a while, which is why I talk so often directly to Dave and Dan. Dan and Dave, Dungeons and Dragons, the alignment, the duo. Dave Canales, the head coach, Dan Morgan, the assistant coach, or the GM, not the assistant coach at all. Dave Canales, the head coach, Dan Morgan, the GM. I speak to them because they haven't had the time to put together the people that they trust. And never was that more obvious than this weekend. And I know it's different for coach and GM, right? Because Dave Canales, in a lot of ways, did get to pick many of his assistant coaches. But let's not forget a lot of the defensive staff, Evero, the defensive coordinator, that he was around, right? And I'm not sure. I mean, Dave Canales is going to say that he was all in on keeping him, but only time will tell. And then Dan Morgan over the weekend, I mean, he's starting to shuffle in and out his guys. Director of Pro Scouting, Rob Hanrahan. Assistant Director of Pro Scouting, Tyler Ramsey, were relieved of their duties last week. Saturday afternoon, there was more shakeup as the team parted ways with area scout Michael Coe and personnel executive Jeff Morrow retired. A lot of this reporting done by Joe Person of The Athletic. Shout out to him. Little hat tip there. Check out all of his coverage. Morrow had been with the team since 1998. 1998. Retired. This is why I talk to Dave and Dan. This is why the decisions being made now weigh so heavily on their heads. They weigh so heavily on their shoulders. It takes time to change out into people you trust. There's a great article, and I actually talked about part 1 of this article last week, which shows how great it is. Part 2 is out now. I read it this morning. But it's another Athletic article, and for some reason, I don't know, maybe they're just they're in it for the eyeballs, they like the clicks. For some reason, the Rams gave unreal insider access to the Athletic reporter, to their pre-draft process, all the way down to like the ways they try to indiscreetly meet with prospects. Like if they don't want a bunch of people to know they're super interested in a player, that they showed the way that they do that, which I think is just going to make everybody track that particular scout. They have one scout, his last name is Sugarman. He's been around for a while. They don't host top 30 visits. So top 30 visits are when players can visit the team at their facility. The Rams don't really do those because you have to report those to the league, and then they get leaked out. As long as a visit is in person and it happens within 50 miles of either where the prospect lives or their college, you don't have to report anything. So, and obviously knowing that like Sean McVay, if he were like crisscrossing the country, people would notice, they send this guy Sugarman. And Sugarman will go and he'll leave and nobody will be none the wiser. Why in the world the Rams decided to tell that to The Athletic, I don't know. But here's what I took out of it. The Panthers don't have their Sugarman yet. The Panthers don't have all of their guys and ladies put into position yet. When Les Snead, the GM of the Rams, holds these kind of all scouting staff, all everybody meetings, there's Zoom meetings because they have area scouts located all over the country. Les Snead of the Rams does everything he can to not talk. He likes to just sit there because, and again, told The Athletic this, he doesn't want to say like, oh, I like this player or I don't like this player because he's worried about the scouts getting kind of tricked into confirmation bias. Like, oh, the GM doesn't like him, so I shouldn't like him either. That's good for me. He wants to encourage discourse. I want Dan Morgan talking on the Zooms for the Panthers. Until he assembles a staff up and down that he loves, from pro scouting to college scouting to everybody, right? Personnel executives. Until he has everybody there wanted, known, trusted, you know what they like, you know what they don't like. Until you get there, the decision-making, the weight of those decisions has to fall even more so on the GM and the coach. Has to. Because by the way, publicly, all of the decisions are always put on the GM and the coach, right? If you have your oldest, most trusted scout standing on the table saying, you have to draft Jamarcus Russell, guess who loses their job? The GM, right? Yeah. Even if that scout was just screaming it, right? It happens. It happens. Which is why if I'm Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, I'm not trusting any of those guys until they prove their worth. And by the way, like, I encourage you to go read the article on the Rams. They have a system where everything is noted. They have somebody paying, like a fly on the wall, paying attention in the meetings, who is noting like what happened when ratings changed, who was arguing for it, right? So if Dennis and I are two scouts and we're arguing about, I don't know, pick a player, Drake May, and then at the end of the meeting, the GM goes, all right, we should boost Drake May 0.3 in our rankings. There's somebody noting Dennis Cox was arguing for Drake May. Tim Donnelly was arguing against Drake May. We boosted the rating because then if Drake May goes on to be successful, it'll boost Dennis's rating because he was arguing for him. It'll lower my rating. They get that in depth.
Sounds like a bit much.
I mean, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's absurd. They have like a they actually call them JARS, JAARS. It's a system that they put in. You can enter emojis. You can enter like go read the article. It's all I can say.
Is this a WhatsApp thread?
Yeah, kind of. You can enter in emojis where it's like, I'm trying to think of a good example that they used. They have different colors, like. For I mean, it's crazy. It's like hieroglyphics / ranking prospects. But my point is, all of these scouts, like everybody has access to it. So you can go in and say, hey, this person, da-da-da-da. If I'm Dan Morgan, I don't want everyone having access to it. Right now, I want like 4 people having access to it because I don't trust anyone else yet. And I won't until you cycle through and you get your guys, your ladies in position.
Sugarman's the name?
I think it's Sugarman.
Okay. So basically you need a sugar daddy.
Maybe. That's up to you. Actually, I think that would probably be Kroenke for the Rams, right?
Maybe.
The owner. Tepper doesn't seem like he'd go by that nickname. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9. The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free of credit cards, car loans, and personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9. The Fan has the Canes Cup check-in coming up next. Paul Ihander was joined earlier by Mike Maniscalco. That conversation coming up in a minute.
Canes fans, Cane on.
Let's go, Canes!
Let's go, Canes! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go, Hurricanes! Go, Canes!
Let's go,
Guentzel with a second try. Swayman can't see it. They score!
Rebound score, Seth Jarvis.
What a save by Andersen!
Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Get loud for me!
And the best artist with the best new scratch-offs, Mr. First Tuesday!
Wow, I'm so proud my music is bringing luck and joy to so many people. First, I'd like to thank those who invented the calendar, and to all the First Tuesdays many years ago, and to all scratchers out there. No matter if you use your nail or a coin, we all share the same First Tuesday love. First Tuesday kisses to you all.
New scratch-offs every first Tuesday of the month.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Meredith in Thesis Jewelers and Garner. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and who else better to shop with than a mother-daughter team? My mom and I have handpicked every item in the store. Some of our favorites is the popular Diamond Flex Bangles, Diamond Hoops, and our Emphasis upgradable Diamond Stud program. But all moms really love the Diamond Tennis necklaces. We have them in all sizes and colors. I can assure you we have an unbelievable selection that any mom will love. It's already been mom approved. So shop in Thesis Jewelers this Mother's Day to find that perfect gift she would cherish for a lifetime.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, coming up at 4:33, we'll be looking to qualify another contestant for our 10K playoff payout. Once qualified, you'd have a shot to win playoff tickets, and perhaps a share of $10,000. That's coming up at 4:33. So you want to be tuned in right here to 99.9 The Fan. In the meantime, it's time for the Canes Cup check-in. Earlier today, Paul Ihander was joined by Mike Maniscalco, the voice of the Canes. Canes Cup check-in is served up by Abbey Road Tavern and Grill in Cary and Apex, your neighborhood rock and roll sports bar. That's Abbey Road Tavern and Grill. Here's the conversation between Paul and Mike talking Canes. Enjoy.
I don't want the end of this series, when it leads the Canes' way or whatever it is, to have Jake Guentzel be part of that similar conversation with Mitch Marner. Call my baby ugly on that one. But I'm looking for him to press a little bit more. Maybe he's just pressing too much because he's getting opportunities. He's just not cashing in.
I think that's the thing that we're all looking at here. And the funny thing is, people are coming up to me going, "What's wrong with Jake Guentzel? And what? How come he's not playing at the expectations or at the level that he had at Pittsburgh?" And I take a look now. 1 goal, and it's an empty net goal. I get it, but the Canes have played 5 playoff games or 6 playoff games, and he's got 5 points. Now, he was brought here to score goals. He was the reason why the Canes, who don't do rentals usually when it comes to the trade deadline and adding for the playoffs, the reason why they went after and focused their attention on Jake Guentzel is he scores playoff goals. I don't think that he's in the Mitch Marner category just because of all of the pressure that has been on the Toronto Maple Leafs forever and their little core group of players. And if anybody does anything wrong, and the funny thing is I thought Marner was actually okay in the playoffs for Toronto, but that's for Toronto talk show fodder, not for us here in Raleigh, Paul. But I get where there is the concern because Jake Guentzel was brought here to score goals in the playoffs, and the only goal he has right now is that empty netter. So what can be done? I think it's really simple, and maybe it is pressing. Maybe it is squeezing the stick a little bit more and wanting to be the difference, wanting to be the guy who changes the fortune around. For me, the simple thing is just shoot the puck. If Jake Guentzel goes out of a game with 6 shots on goal, I don't think anybody on the team, I don't think any fan, I don't think any of us who talk about the game is going to be upset with a Jake Guentzel 6-shot on goal performance. So I think it becomes a pretty simple edict. And against a team like the Rangers, I don't think it's ever a bad idea to put the puck on net. And what I mean by that is if you try to make the fancy play against them, they're really well coached. They've got really good players, and they're going to anticipate things. So you've got to be either letter perfect with your passes or just throw it on net. And the Jarvis goal that you referenced, yes, it's an extra attacker for Carolina, but that was caused by putting the puck on net and having a little bit of havoc in front of Igor Shesterkin. And that's one of the things that Jake Guentzel was known for in Pittsburgh, of when he get the puck, he was just going to put it on net. So I think that he knows he's got to do that a little bit better and a little bit more. What's the word that I'm looking for here? I don't want to go too hyperbolic here in game 1 and round 2, but I think he's got to put it with a little bit more tenacity than what he is doing in the offensive zone. He doesn't need to defer to Andrei Svechnikov or Sebastian Aho. He's Jake Guentzel. He can put the puck on net.
Canes play-by-play announcer Mike Maniscalco here on the Adam Gold Show. Mike, last one for you here. I've said this after last night's game that even superheroes need days off, and head coach Rod Brindamore has leaned on Frederik Andersen. He got them the Series 1 win against the New York Islanders, came back last night against the Rangers. Even superheroes need the night off. Is it time for a goal change, much like we saw? I keep referencing Toronto-Boston. They made a quick goal change early on just to give the Rangers a slightly different look than they've already seen in the playoffs from the Carolina Hurricanes in net.
That, I think, is the number one question that's being asked by the Carolina Hurricanes coaching staff is, do you give Pyotr Kochetkov, who has good numbers against the New York Rangers in his career, he has good numbers at Madison Square Garden. Now, it's not a huge sample size, but he likes to play there, and he likes to play against Igor Shesterkin. Do you give him that? The funny thing is, Paul, the text that I got had nothing to do with Frederik Andersen playing too many games, although that's part of it. But it was the layoff too much for the Carolina Hurricanes between Game 5 of the Islanders and Game 1 of the Rangers series. So he had time off. It's not like the Canes went right from a Game 7 to Game 1. But this is an interesting question, and I think that if you leave it up to Frederik Andersen, he's going to want game number 2. He's going to want to go and play and show that the last game, and he wasn't great against the Islanders, even though he was the winner in the closeout game in Game 5. And again, that game one against the Rangers, I can't fault them on the power play goals. I mean, those are just great plays by New York. And then the other one is the Zibanejad goal that kicked it off is, again, it's a mistake where the Canes miss coverage and you let one of the best players in the league, alone out in front of your netminder, and that becomes a 50-50 play. But the thing for me is, if you're the Hurricanes, if you think Freddie is the guy that is going to be the goalie who wins you the cup, I think you have to give him game number 2. This is me talking. I think you have to give him game number 2, and then you can go from there. If you don't get the result you want at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night, then you can say, all right, let's give him the look of Pyotr Kochetkov, and we can go from there. Or you can go into that game with I always hate saying giving a goalie a short leash. I hate that, Paul, because I think that you've got to, if you're giving the goalie the start, you're telling him it's his game to go out there and lose, but you're giving him the opportunity, go win it. Never say go out there and lose it, because if a goalie knows that, you hear, oh, he's on a short leash. If he gives up a goal in the first whatever, you might say, well, then just play the other guy if you're going to put the starter on the short leash. So I would never question anything that the Canes have done with the goaltending ranks, especially the last half of the year. So I'm going to give you a bit of a cop-out answer. If they want to go with Pyotr Kochetkov in game number 2, if they feel that that's the right decision with what you're saying, give Freddie a chance to watch a game and mentally reset while the puck is in action, that's fine. It worked in the regular season. But if they also want to go, all right, Freddie, this is your crease. Show us why we're going to give it to you. And he turns in a sparkling performance, which he's fully capable of doing. It can work that way for the Canes. Because you're still going to have that question mark, though, Paul. If you play him in game 2 and he wins, people are going to be going, well, he hasn't played this many games in a row since. And we all understand that. But I think that he's at least earned the opportunity. If he feels good and he wants to paint on Tuesday night, then you should give it to him.
Once again, that is Mike Maniscalco with Paul Ihander, who was sitting in for Adam Gold earlier today. The Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan. It is definitely a Monday when I can't even say 99.9 The Fan the first time. The Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan is served up by Abbey Road Tavern and Grill in Cary and Apex, your neighborhood rock and roll sports bars. There we go. Now, let's jump to the podium. Keeping it Canes, the podium is very simple. Over the last week, so from Monday to Monday, if there's a Monday night game last week, it counts towards this week, and so forth. Who have been the 3 best Canes and in what order? Who gets the gold medal? Who gets the silver medal? Who gets the bronze medal?
So we're looking at game 1 last night, and we're looking at game 5 back on Tuesday of last week.
The clincher of round 1 and the opener of round 2. We'll start with the bronze.
Okay.
I have to admit, when we came into these negotiations, I don't know if they're negotiations, deliberations.
Okay.
I had this player as I think I like him on the podium this week, but I almost didn't expect when we thought about it for there to be room. Martin Necas. He had an assist in the clincher. He had a goal in game 1, and his speed popped for me. We all know what Necas brings as far as being an elite skater in space and speed and everything else, but him playing fast, him buzzing up and down the ice, it popped to me more than it normally does in game 1. Now, we know what his kind of drawbacks are also, right? He's not going to be the most physical player in the world. But if you give the production and you're buzzing, I'll take it from Martin Necas. Anything to add about Necas?
One thing I would like to see him do a little bit more is, yes, when he has space, we see his speed, but sometimes when things are clogged up in the middle of the ice, he doesn't fight to get between the dots. The dots being the face-off circles. He doesn't fight to get into that space consistently enough for me, which in the playoffs, that's where you make your living. Now, I mean, it was a great play on the rush where he scored yesterday. It was good, and he's been chipping in on the power play as well when his unit's been out there. But I would like to see him get into that space a little bit more often.
Does it say anything about the Canes that I almost didn't expect there to be room for Necas on the podium, but there was?
Yeah.
Is that a lack of elite production?
No, there's a lot of guys that we deliberated over. There were quite a few that we had talked about, but I think it was just a recognition of, hey, you know what? He has been chipping in on the score sheet, though.
Yep. for darn sure. Silver medal goes to Slavin, Jacob Slavin. An assist in Game 5 and a goal in Game 1. So assist in the clincher to end the first round, and a goal, the opening goal for the Canes.
Which, by the way, we did not have a puck winner.
Nobody chose.
We did not have a puck winner. We'll play again tomorrow. Don't worry.
It's a long shot, in more ways than one.
Yeah.
But that answer felt massive.
It's just a minute and 2 seconds after Zibanejad made it 1-0. I was like, oh, okay.
It was right back. All right, square one. I was like, you got the jitters out, right? The long break. It's over, and then obviously,
penalty.
Yeah, but on top of that, Slavin. I mean, he led the team in minutes on ice in Game 5, the clincher in the first round. If he brings you any kind of point production, it's going to be so difficult to keep him off of the podium because of everything he does that doesn't bring point production, mainly defense. He's what he's a finalist for
the Lady Byng.
The Lady Byng. There you go.
Which a trophy that he won actually just a couple of seasons ago.
He's so good. And I remember at the beginning of the year, he went on a little hot streak when it comes to point production and actually got a couple goals. And I was like, if he's doing this, watch the heck out. So in the last 2 games, he's averaging a point per game. Like, yeah, you're a silver medalist. Like, there you go. Open and shut.
And you're always going to be drawing the top defensive assignments, generally.
As he should.
Yeah.
Because he does a really good job with it. Gold medal, playoff
Jarvis.
Playoff Jarvie.
Simple as that.
He had a goal and 2 assists in the round 1 clincher. He had a goal in Game 1 of round 2. The toughness continuously impresses me. That second hit up against the boards felt unnecessary, if we're being honest. But it was just another opportunity for him to shake it off and keep playing.
So the hit you're referring to was Chris Kreider hit him from behind into the boards, face first. Was whistled for a penalty. It was a boarding call. So they whistled Chris Kreider for a penalty. Then there's Jacob Trouba, who's basically a goon. He walks that line of dirty. And he came in and had a dirty hit. I'll say it, call it what it was. He just decides to I'm just going to clean out Seth Jarvis up high like it was a retaliation hit. I'm like, your guy hit Jarvis into the boards. What are you retaliating for? The boards? But Jacob Trouba comes in and just has a high hit, which I'm like, you're not going to call that one either. But nonetheless, there was a penalty that was already called, so it's what it is. But it's funny. People seem teams think they can just push Seth Jarvis around because he's not that big of a dude. It's like he keeps getting back up and producing. Eventually, at some point, you're going to learn that he ain't staying down. He's just not.
And
he's not.
That's a way to win the mental warfare of a fight.
Yeah.
When you're hitting the quote-unquote little guy and he's popping up, not missing a shift, still playing aggressive, not shying away from contact, you start to do did I hit him hard? It felt like I hit him hard. Did I? What's going on here? And then on top of that, he's wildly skilled. I mean, when he's on that left wing and the puck comes his way, he's placing it where he wants to. He's finding the back of the net a ton. And again, I still think that, wherever he's been has been productive. He's hasn't been the most locked in. It's not like he has a line that he's played with all year. But wherever he's been has been productive, and you have to give him credit for that, fitting in with different skill sets and different kind of archetypes around him on his line.
There are a lot of guys who are producers in the regular season in terms of points. And there are guys who come playoff time, that seems like it's when it's their time to shine because of the style of play. He's both. And here's the thing, there aren't as many of those guys in the NHL as you think. For example, Steven Stamkos with Tampa Bay produces like crazy in the regular season. Heck, I think he had 40 goals again this season. I know they got bounced in the first round, but the dude's got multiple Stanley Cups. He's produced in the playoffs. There are guys again, who, for example, Stefan Nason may not put up a bunch of goals in the regular season, but there's a reason why he had 3 goals in the first round of the playoffs in 5 games. The playoffs are built for him. Jarvis is both that.
I had to check because I was curious. 40 goals for Stamkos.
Yeah, I said 40 goals.
40 goals, 41 assists.
Yeah, like Nikita Kucherov, same type guy for Tampa. Can produce in the regular season and also produce in the playoffs.
Do you know what else all those guys are that you're mentioning?
Champions.
I was going to say well paid.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
And Seth Jarvis is going to be that pretty soon. But also, yes, champions. That's hopefully Seth Jarvis is both of those very soon.
Exactly.
That would be the happy ending. Could be a happy ending for the next person to qualify for the 10K playoff payout. Here's your chance to see the Storm surge in person. It's time to qualify for our 10K playoff payout. Right now, be caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. You'll have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000. Caller number 9 to 919-860-5326. And if you don't make it in today, listen tomorrow for another chance to be a part of the 10K playoff payout driven by your Carolina Ford dealer. For great offers on a new Ford truck or SUV, see your Carolina Ford dealer today. We'll give a minute here as Dennis continuously answers the phone and breaks people's hearts. Callers number 1 through 8. But again, if you are caller number 1 through 8 and you don't get through as caller number 9, tomorrow at about 4 o'clock, we'll be doing the same thing here on 99.9 The Fan, trying to qualify someone for the 10K playoff payout. This is wildly fun for us, just to let you know. I hope it's fun for one of you. I hope somebody wins the full 10K and everybody gets to go wild and crazy. But it's also fun to give stuff away. Looks like we have a caller. Dennis is typing it in our back-end system as we speak. Now we just have to wait for it to load. The name is... Oh, the suspense. My screen is just showing an M. It is literally just showing the letter M. Mike. All right, it's Mike. Everyone listening at home that knows anyone with the last or first name that starts with M was just waiting. It's Mike.
Absolutely.
Mike in Wake Forest. Mike, are you there?
I am.
All right. Here's as if you've been listening, you have to answer a question. This is not a trick question. This is a simple question that you have to answer. If you get it right, you're qualified. Okay.
Okay.
All right. There is a member of the Canes whose first name is Seth. What is his last name?
Jarvis.
There it is.
I feel great about playing football right now.
Sure. That was Dave Canales.
That was wrong button. But you know what? Dave Canales is excited for you too, I'm sure.
There you go. Congratulations. You are qualified to be a contestant in the 10K playoff payout. You're going to have a shot to win playoff tickets and perhaps a share of $10,000.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Love the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you.
By the way, we got a note here. Game 4 on Saturday, 7 o'clock.
Ooh.
Game 4 Saturday at PNC is a 7 o'clock game.
Little weekend night
so you
action.
Got all day to tailgate, folks.
Nice.
All
day to tailgate. It's Sunday is Mother's Day, right? Not Saturday. It's all right. Yeah, you can spend all day tailgating. You don't got to go to any brunches or anything. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. How about that? That's what we're thinking about. 7 o'clock tip, or I should say puck drop on Saturday. Hopefully, Canes will be getting things started with a 2-1 lead after surging back, I should say, after dropping game 1. Speaking of a surge back after dropping game 1, I'm a little upset Dennis is on the phone with our contestant. He's not going to be able to hear this, but I'll replay it, the quick version for him. If you've been listening to the show, first of all, you're awesome. But leading into Canes games for the last few, we've been playing a game, Dennis versus me versus Dennis, a battle of wills and want to. And the game is simple, really. Going into each game, we each draft a team of 5. Canes. So we go back and forth picking Canes. Snake draft. So I get first pick, he gets second and third, and I get fourth and fifth, so on. Flipped it, reversed it, whatever. The first time we did it, we've now done it 3 times. We're going to do it throughout the postseason. The first time we played this game, Dennis beat me handily. Right, the first goal was 3 of his guys. The way we keep score is who gets the most points, whose team gets the most points, goals plus assists. His team smoked me. Came back the next time undeterred. I won. Came back the next time it was over the weekend, undeterred. My team won again. I am now up 2-1, thanks to 2 points from Sebastian Aho, a point from Jarvis, and a point from my guy Marty Natchez. Dennis received 2 points. His team, Jake Guentzel and Brent Burns, were the culprits there. But still, a 4-2 victory is a 4-2 victory. I now lead the series 2-1. So let's just hope that the Canes can follow my lead from dropping game 1 to going up 2-1.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's totally fine. Which, by the way, the first round pick in each of these is 1.
That is true.
Yes.
Whoever's gone first is 1.
It's what it is.
It is. Having Sebastian Aho helps, who's been the first pick overall in all of them. But it didn't matter if, like, in game 1, it wouldn't have mattered if I had Aho. You would have smoked me anyway because you won by a billion.
That's true. I won by a whole bunch. I did take a couple flyers on.
So did I. I took Kuzi.
You did take Kuznetsov. I decided to go with 2 defensemen in the last series.
And one of them gave him one of your 2 points.
I know. They did. One of the
second defenseman you drafted.
I know. Brady Shea. No, Burns. I took them both at the same time.
Oh, you may have taken. I thought. Okay.
Yeah, I took them both at the same time because of the whole snake draft deal. By the way, speaking of defensemen, we mentioned earlier Jacob Slavin, finalist for the Lady Byng Trophy, which is an award he won a few years ago. So which combines not only high-level play, but also like sportsmanship and gentlemanly play. So basically, hey, you're a great hockey player and not a jerk. It's essentially what that is.
Not the bad kind of jerk.
Exactly, not the bad kind of jerk.
You can be the good kind of jerk.
You can be the good, like the bunch of jerks. You can be that. But also, I think it was pretty awesome to see that Jordan Staal is a finalist for the Selke Trophy, which goes to the best defensive forward in the NHL. And the fact that he's one of the 3 finalists for that award just goes to show you how great he is, especially this late in his career. The fact that he's been around doing it for so long, it's nice to see him get recognized. He may not win, because I know Alexander Barkov from the Florida Panthers, Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, also finalists. But to see him recognized with those guys as being one of the top defensive forwards in the NHL, massive for him. I think it's nice to see him get recognized for the dirty work, quote unquote, that he does, stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet all the time.
And we have to give, we are harsh on the national media when they don't respect the Canes. When they do, it's appropriate to point that it's all fair is fair, right? Yeah. Like we know Stahl is a monster, right? We see it every day. But it's nice to know others are seeing it also. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, what do you got?
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. By the way, the month of May, National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. So as someone who rides a motorcycle, I'm 100% always locked in on a safe ride. Make sure my bike is in operating order. Make sure when I check the weather forecast ahead of time to make sure I'm not leaving work in a potential thunderstorm coming through. It's all about safety when you're on the road. Everything that they teach you when you take a riding academy, for example, like I did through Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, when I went through the riding academy there, which is sponsored by Harley-Davidson, it was nice being able to see that everything that they taught you, safety, safety, safety. So if you ever are in an accident, make sure you call Law Tigers first at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company, they want to pay you the least amount of money possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They're part of that community. They ride motorcycles, so they understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case gets settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has some words for Jake Guentzel coming up next. And they probably sound like, I want to see a goal. Stick around.
Where can you find a place that not only offers amazing food, but also a super unique and fun atmosphere? Hey, it's Victoria Bodenecker here to tell you that place is Norse Brewing Company in Wake Forest. There's also Norse Brewing Longhouse in Zebulon, but both locations offer a mouth-watering menu with a Scandinavian twist. They also make all of their adult beverages in-house. Plus, speaking of the aesthetic, you will completely embrace your inner Viking when you go here. Don't just take my word for it, though. Please go check them out for yourself. Find out more information at norsebrewingco.com.
Adam Golden Studio with my friend Alice Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When people come over to the showroom, they see all of these great doors. I'm not saying that this is what you guys specialize in. You specialize in everything, but let's talk some doors.
The doors are a great way to beautify your home. And when you come into the showroom, one of the first things I ask you to do is to open and close the door. It's a big difference. So with the doors, you pick out the hardware, you pick out the colors, you pick out the style. They come in fiberglass, they come in steel. We got multiple glass options. It's a great way to improve your home. It's easy to do. It's affordable. And these doors, a lot of times you go in and out the door 10, 20 times a day. You might open the windows 10 times a year.
Though that is true. By the way, I'm not sure I've ever walked through my front door.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, we use the back door.
The back door is side door. We do those also.
All right. That's Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham. AluminumCompany.com. Check them out if you need a door.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust, dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet Zero-Resified starting at just $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Charlotte, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We have to revisit a piece of our conversation going into game 1 of the second round. On Friday, we talked about Jake Guentzel. And it was interesting. Dennis and I, we were out at Topgolf, which, well, by the way, was a great time. We were out at Topgolf, and we did our 2 key players we wanted to see step up for round 2. Like the game hinged on them, might be the way to say it. Unprompted, we both picked Jake Guentzel. We called for Jake Guentzel to be the guy he was brought in to be. Still waiting. Might be in there, might come out in this series. Still waiting as of the moment. And just with anything else, right? Something's 5 minutes late, it's cool. 10 minutes late, it's cool. 15 minutes late, should I call? Half hour late, should I leave a review? Hour late, they're going to hear from me.
Yeah.
Right? It just keeps going on and on. Like, the longer we're waiting, the more impatient we're going to become. And I don't think that is unfair. When you are somebody that is expensive as he is, when you are somebody that you gave up as much of the deadline as you did, when you are somebody that's going to come with your hand out this offseason for please pay me oodles and oodles of cash, yeah, expectations are high. And they should be. Right? Sometimes I think people get upset with high expectations just like off the rip. They're just like, no, you're asking too much of them. Sometimes high expectations are appropriate. Sometimes high expectations are not unreasonable expectations. They're just high. Guentzel has had chances. He hasn't always taken his best shot this postseason, and that means literally and figuratively. I want Guentzel to score more goals. That's why he's here. Do you know actually what's ironic? Seth Jarvis has kind of been everything I hoped Guentzel would be.
Oh, yeah?
Right? Being the spark, scoring the crucial goals that give your team a chance and keep you alive. Guentzel's been the one playing with Aho and Svetch, but Jarvis is the one on another line that's been coming up with the production. Matter of fact, playing with Aho and Svetch is interesting. I think Aho has gotten a little pass happy at times when I want to see him attack the net and maybe look for his own shot. He's erred on the side of trying to set up his teammates. A lot of times that's Guentzel. So here's what's happening, right? Not only is it an opportunity that Aho passed up, but it's an opportunity that Guentzel isn't taking advantage of. So now it's like two guys are kind of going like, eh. The good news for Aho is he's still finding production, right? He's still tallying quite a few points. Rod Brindamore was asked about Jake Guentzel earlier today. This is what he had to say.
It's been really unfortunate, you know. I mean, I think he hit the post last night on the power play in tight. It feels like every other game he's rung one off the post or he's been around it. We just got to keep getting him those opportunities.
And I hear that too.
It's not like he's been unproductive.
No, it's not. It's the high expectation thing I'm talking about. There are certain guys who, yes, he hit the post twice, he's playing well, and you applaud him and you move on. Jake Guentzel is someone you talk like real production with. Right? You could write a novel about every missed shot. You could, right? Oh, it was a glancing blow. The pass came in about 2 feet off of the target that he was hoping for, and it was deflected, and he had to be a little bit off balance, and he tried to lift it into the corner, and it didn't happen, and he hit the far post, and it's like we could write a novel about every single opportunity. I don't know why I gave him that kind of voice and maybe a little bit of an accent. Huh. Like, we could have written a novel about every single one, and then you'd know the full story. Or you can say, Jake Guentzel wasn't brought in to write stories. He was brought in to score goals. You can say I'm being too demanding because he is playing well, and I get that. Like, he's doing some things very well, but high expectations are appropriate here. He has a goal in the postseason, and it was an empty netter. I've been saying I want an even strength goal from Jake Guentzel. Heck, I just want a goal with a goalie on the ice. If it's a power play goal, I'll take it now.
Hey, even better.
I don't know if it's even better. I think even strength or
it's fine.
My favorite is shorthanded, but I'm not getting picky here.
He won't be out there.
True. Oh, yeah, unless something goes real sideways. No, here's basically what it all boils down to. Jake Guentzel was brought in as a mercenary sniper. He was brought in as a guy to finish plays. He was brought in as a guy that can benefit from the system that the Canes have, right? The Canes have this defensive system that is taxing but creates opportunities and counterattacks. They have this unselfish kind of vibe where everybody's always looking for the best shot no matter who's taking it. And you just wanted Guentzel to come in and immediately start producing points. And he did. In the regular season, it took him 2-3 games, and suddenly he went on a tear. And you were looking at it going, this fits. He fits as the finisher that they need. And I know it was a lot of assists, but it was leading to goals. In the postseason, right? How often do we have to say it, right? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, we haven't even mentioned this. Montgomery, the coach of the Bruins, he said essentially that after Game 6. He said our big-time players need to make big-time plays. He said Marchand is doing a good job. Pasternak is not. Pasternak is not. And I went, woo, that's really, really coaching through the media, and you better really, really know how your guy's going to respond. Well, guess what Pasta did?
Game winner in overtime.
Game winner in overtime. I'm not here to praise the Bruins, but I am here to say when a coach says your big-time player's got to make big-time plays, and then game winner in overtime in Game 7 to advance to the next round, that's the goal, right? Jake Guentzel, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Please don't make us wait till Game 7. Please don't make us wait till overtime in Game 7.
You have a feeling if he gets that first one, just opens up?
Yes.
It's like, finally.
Floodgates.
I'm sure he's probably Preston, too. He's like, I've gone 6 games and haven't scored on a goaltender in the playoffs.
Yes. I completely understand. Maybe that's why he hasn't, it wasn't complete fans, but there are a couple that, for lack of a better term, kind of felt like foul tips. They were full swing bunts little deals where he was making contact, but you could tell it wasn't the contact he was hoping for when he started the shot.
I fouled that one straight back.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm on it. I got the timing down. Bloop single. It's like you don't get many bloop singles past goalies in the NHL, especially not Shesterkin. So I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking a bit. You're right. Once he gets one through, it will be some form of a floodgate situation, but you need to get the one through. We're I'd say right now we're 20 minutes late on delivery food. Right? It's not the end of the world yet, but I'm getting a little impatient. A little hangry. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to go into the crackers I have in my closet just to hold me over, and I don't want to have to do that. Little peanut butter crackers that ruins dinner. I don't want to have to do that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friends over at Miller Lending. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Don't pay for a rate you won't like a year from now. Sometimes it's that simple, right? Just close on today's rate and then refinance anytime rates drop. And right, we're all assuming that they will. It's timing. Okay? When you're looking at your mortgage rate, when you're looking at interest rates, you may be wide-eyed and terrified, right? Oh my goodness, this rate is so high. How am I going to afford that monthly payment? Well, don't think of it like your rate is your rate forever. Think of it like your rate only has to be your rate until rates drop and you can refinance. And some of the best ways to do that is with what Miller Lending calls the no closing cost loan. And it's really that simple, right? It says it in the name. No closing costs, no fees. You can refinance without digging into your pocket over and over and over again. Just go ahead and give them a call, okay? I have the phone number for you right here. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That is millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the starting 5, including 2 different ways to look at the Canes losing Game 1. Stick around.
Canes fans, game on.
Let's go Canes!
Let's go Canes! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go Hurricanes! Go Canes!
Let's go
Canes!
Guentzel with the second try. Swayman can't see it. They score! Rebound score. Seth Jarvis. What a save by Andersen. Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Get loud for me.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK-10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Are you struggling to get a good night's sleep? Look no further than Parkway Sleep. For 20 years, we have been your locally owned and operated sleep center.
I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Did you know that people are waiting a staggering 6 to 8 months for a sleep study at other sleep labs? At Parkway, we understand the importance of your sleep needs. That's why we offer openings within weeks, not months, saving you time.
Don't let sleepless nights take over your life. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Autobell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autobell for just $55.
People can tell we knew Autobell.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Every shot, every goal. ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sports book of ESPN is the only place to find special shows and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We have multiple chances for showers and thunderstorms clear through Friday. We have the chance for showers and storms overnight, 66 the low. Tomorrow, we have the chance for mainly morning showers and storms, the high 87.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 176 points to 38,852. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The starting five here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan is served up by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com. Starting five starts with number 5. The Canes lost game 1. We've talked about it. We're going to talk about it some more. But we haven't yet addressed what might be the biggest silver lining of losing game 1 the way they lost game 1. It appears to set up a very fun and entertaining series.
Oh, we're in for a doozy. We are in for a long, entertaining series.
It appears to set up a very high level of hockey, a very high level of physicality, a very high level of we don't like each other, a very high level of storylines, very high level of fans caring, very high level of a lot that makes it entertaining. And as we all know, no real 7-game series starts until someone wins on the road. So they defended home court, like home ice, for a day. If the Canes win game 2, you take that every single time at a 2 in MSG. So there's still so much hockey to be played.
And these are two of the top 3 teams from the regular season playing against each other in the second round of the playoffs.
NHL has to do something about that.
Yeah, that's a different conversation for another time.
Has to. But I often talk about the non-hockey fan test. I've been watching the postseason. I say this about my wife all the time. She is a postseason fan. My wife watches just postseason games. So she watched just about every Islanders game. We were sitting around watching yesterday the Rangers one, the Rangers game 1. And immediately she was like, oh, this looks so different than the Islanders. I'm like, yep. Yes, it does. Now, part of it is because the Islanders were kind of mucking it up, trying to drag the Canes down to their level. But the Rangers and the Canes do not mind getting up and down, and it was very much like, oh, who hit fast forward? Have I told you about the when my dad listened to one of my terrible podcasts that I did at the early part of my career?
No.
So I had a podcast like everyone does, and this is 10, 12 years ago now. And I say terrible because I would be terrified to listen to it now to see if it's any good. But I did an interview with somebody. It was a long-form interview. It was like a half hour or whatever. My dad listened to it, and my dad called me and said, hey, something was up with his microphone. I was like, what do you mean? Everything the person you were interviewing said, it was like they were rapid fire, like they were in fast-forward mode. I was like, really? I'll go back and listen to it. I don't think so. Went back and listened to it. It sounded normal. You know what it was? His playback. You know how you can listen to podcasts on 2 times the speed?
Yeah, like 1.5 times, 2 times speed, yeah.
So he listened to the whole podcast on 2 times speed.
Oh.
But did not
know it?
He's such a he had no clue. He's such a biased listener that he didn't notice that I also was speaking fast. He only noticed the person I was interviewing was speaking fast. So I'm like, Dad, you know what this means. I can't take your opinion on any of my shows seriously ever again because you just proved that you will only hear the faults in other people and not in me because you're my dad. It did feel a bit like going from the Islanders series to the Rangers series was like listening to a podcast on like normal speed and then 1.5 speed. It was just like, oh, everyone's a little bit more amped for this, isn't it? Especially early in the game. And I almost say like everyone's going to get used to it. I hope we don't. I hope watching every game comes with that same kind of electric atmosphere like the beginning of the game 1 had. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
Rashaad Penny expected to sign with the Panthers. Running back, spent most of his career with the Seattle Seahawks. Former first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Not many of those running around.
Out of Southern California, for our
not Cal. I think it was San Diego State, maybe. Double check me on that. but that shows there's a certain base level of physical ability.
You're right, San Diego State.
Nobody is drafted in the first round as a running back without a certain base, like, not a slow 40, not undersized. Like, you have to be kind of a prototypical quintessential running back.
Better be good.
And quite frankly, even though he had his ups, he didn't live up to that billing in Seattle, but he still comes with the raw tools even at this point in his career. The more interesting part about it is the Canes are stockpiling, the Canes. I do this once a day.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers are stockpiling running backs. It'd be weird if the Canes were stockpiling running backs.
I mean, they stock running backs at the Canes stockpile defensemen.
There you go. That would have been the save.
Yes,
would have been the on the spot. See, can't plan these things. The Panthers are stockpiling running backs. They are building their team inherently in a way most people in the league are going away from. They spent a bunch of money on their offensive line this offseason. Interior offensive line. Most teams spend most of their money on the exterior of the offensive line when they need to improve, meaning the tackles. They spent a bunch of draft capital trading up into the first round to draft a wide receiver. He's a guy that they can use out of the backfield. Xavier Legette, he is a guy that can he has a varied skill set. If you wanted to get him the ball out of the backfield, a la Deebo Samuel, you can. The issue with that is you now have, 6 running backs on the roster and a guy who you're going, yeah, he could take some reps from the running backs.
Getting crowded.
Some describe Jatavian Sanders, the tight end you drafted in the 4th round, as kind of more of a move, like an F rather than that traditional Y. That used to just be called a fullback. Like, how many people are going to be in this backfield, Dave Canales? They're going to have, if they want to, the personnel to go wishbone. If they want to run the Delaware wing T,
3 guys in the backfield.
If they want to go full triple option, they could.
It'll look like Navy out here.
Why not? I'll tell you why not, because it probably wouldn't work in the NFL. But but I'm looking at this. They have Chuba Hubbard. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll probably be the starter week 1. You have Jonathan Brooks, who you traded up to draft in the 2nd round after trading down. So you traded down, then traded back up to draft Brooks. He's the future of the position for the Panthers. Probably will be the starter by the end of the year. You have Miles Sanders. He's making $7.5 million, and there's really no way for you to get out of that money. So he's somebody that you'd expect to get a couple touches a game. Now you bring in Rashaad Penny. He has a history with Dave Canales, right? When he was out there in Seattle, Dave Canales was one of the assistant coaches. You would expect there's at least some honesty there, right? Canales isn't bringing in Penny going, yeah, you're not going to play. And he wouldn't look at him and lie to him and say he is going to play because they're buddies. Then they have Raheem Blackshear, who I covered Raheem Blackshear during his time at Virginia Tech. Interesting player, really good pass catcher,
returner.
Yeah, little bit of more of a third down scat back, but I don't see him having an opportunity. He's one of those guys where I'm like, maybe if he got an opportunity, he might be able to turn into something. I don't see that happening anymore. And then there's Tariq Cohen, fan favorite, local guy, local college guy, been through a lot. That's just a lot of names. That's a lot of people in the running back room. Do you think this is the one kind of maybe this could be a possible thing? Do you think Rashaad Penny could be brought in as a, how do I describe this? Mentor? Mentor is the wrong word. As I've been in the kind of this offense, I know how to talk to Coach Canales, and I'll come in and be a little bit of a coach. Yeah, coach, maybe assistant coach. Maybe. Which then wouldn't be taking any, expected game reps. He'd just kind of be, when the running backs want to watch film without the coach, Rashaad Penny gets the clicker.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to fast forward and reverse, tell everybody what they did wrong.
I feel like you see this a lot in sports where it's like, all right, this guy that's been around in the league for a little bit, knows the head coach, can be like, Yeah, coach knows what he's talking about type deal. If there's anyone like, I don't know this guy, I don't know who this coach is. Like, no. He knows what he's talking about. We did this thing, did that thing. Trust me, this is all going to work out. Like, just, again, being that voice in the locker room, just saying, yeah, he's okay.
And sometimes even like the running backs coach in the room, they see like an exotic, as they call it, an exotic blitz, kind of a different one. Hey, Rashaad, how'd you handle this in Seattle?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we would, we would check the middle linebacker to the outside linebacker and then hit the flat. Perfect. Do that until we hear otherwise. I'll check with coach later. Still, it's an interesting signing. A lot of running backs. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3 here in the starting 5.
2, 3.
UNC basketball missed out on Cliff Omoyori. He is a big man in the transfer portal out of Rutgers. He was a 5 guy, like a true center that does the things that UNC needs, right? Rebounds, defends, can score a bit. He went to Bama. He committed to Bama. He was, reportedly a very, very high target for UNC. I don't know what it is about the portal. Missing out on a portal player makes fan bases panic way more than missing out on recruits used to. Used to be you miss out on, ESPN top 100 high school recruit. You'd go, oh, darn. All right, who's next? Missing out on a portal player, all of a sudden your fan base is like, no, there goes our contendership. We're not going to be able to win it all without Cliff Omoyori, who never even stepped foot on our campus. He was just a guy that I saw good stats from at Rutgers in the Big Ten, and I thought he might be able to help us replace Armando Bacot. But now that he goes to Alabama, all of my hopes and dreams are gone. Don't panic, UNC fans. You just got RJ Davis to return. He was the best shooting guard in college basketball. He's the ACC Player of the Year. You just received a transfer commitment from Cade Tyson. Cade Tyson is a 6'7" shooter. For those of you that listen to the show, occasionally I like to judge how athletic somebody is by how many syllables people put in athlete when they're talking about him. You ever notice that? When somebody is like Bo Jackson, he's not an athlete, he's an athlete. People start putting extra syllables in there. I try to do that with shooter. Like when somebody's a shooter, they're a good shooter, they're a shooter. Steph Curry, he's a shooter. Like that kind of deal. Cade Tyson has multiple syllables. You just got him out of the portal. Seth Trimble, you just withdrew back out of the portal. Now, do you want a better big man? Yeah, if possible, you still have 3 scholarships. Jalen Washington, I think, is a very capable starter. If you want to improve, that's fine. Hit the portal. There's still plenty of them out there. You can go back. I talked about it earlier in the show. There's a whole host of names, a whole bunch of them. Pivot. You're still North Carolina. And what I mean by that is you're going to be able to get in the living room. You're going to be able to get on the phone. You're going to be able to talk to these guys. That's not to say you're going to win the NIL. It's shaking things up. If an SEC team with a billionaire booster wants to offer a couple million to a big man, what are you going to do? But you're still North Carolina. Don't settle for scraps, and don't panic when the your perceived top shelf option goes elsewhere. I still think UNC is a top 10 team next year to start it off, and I still think they're going to get better this offseason. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Rough weekend to be a Carolina Panthers front office executive. Director of Pro Scouting Rob Hanrahan and Assistant Director of Pro Scouting Tyler Ramsey were relieved of their duties last week. Saturday afternoon, team parted ways with area scout Michael Coe, and Jeff Morrow retired. He's a personnel executive that had been with the team since 1998. Not unexpected, right? We see it with the roster. And quite frankly, they were the worst team in the NFL last year. You would expect changes. If you are the worst in your industry anywhere, you should expect changes. That's just kind of the way the world works, right? That's the real world. That's business. If you're the worst in your industry, changes are going to come. And you have to convince the new boss why you should stay. Dan Morgan had a couple months with these guys. By the way, most of them come from the pro scouting section, so spare me with the questions of why would you go through the draft and then fire them after they make such high leverage decisions? A lot of them are the pro scouts, so it's scouting other NFL teams, which is a little different. I look at it like this. If I'm Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, this is your shot, right? There's no guarantee Dave Canales, if this doesn't work out, will ever get another head coaching job. There's no guarantees Dan Morgan, if it doesn't work out at the place where he has all of the goodwill from being Dan Morgan the player, if it doesn't work out, there's no guarantee he's going to get another GM job. I would want to win or lose. I would want to succeed or fail. I would want to rise or fall on my beliefs, right? That means I'm bringing in guys that I trust. I'm bringing in the last thing I would want if I'm Dan Morgan is to think, oh, these are good guys. They're good people. They work hard. I'll keep them around. And then have it fail. And 10 years from now going, I wish I would have brought in the people that I trusted. I wish I would have brought in people that I chose, rather than just being a nice guy who wanted to avoid a awkward firing. Which, make no mistake about it, I've never had to do it. Firing people must stink.
Oh, God.
Like, that conversation sounds awful. But, what's worse, that or regret?
Here's the thing. If you're going to captain the ship, you want to pick your crew, right?
Exactly. And you want to pick your vice captain. You want to pick your first mate. You want to pick your anchor guy. You want to pick your everything.
Yep. You want to pick the crew.
And like I said, it's not like if you took over the Chiefs, if Brett Veach retired and you took over the Chiefs, feel free to keep a whole bunch of them.
Basically.
If you're Dan Morgan and you take over the Panthers, feel free to bring in a whole new crew. That ship had been lost in the Bermuda Triangle for a while. It's not like you're getting where you're supposed to be going. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one!
We said we were going to talk about the Canes losing game 1 a couple different times. Let's talk about the actual game. Not the vibes, not the energy, not the physicality. Let's talk about the game. Special teams and goaltending. I think that was the difference.
Bruh.
Special teams and goaltending. You want some stats to back it up? Sure. 0 for 5 on the power play. 0 for 5 on the power play. And 0 for 2 on the penalty kill. The Canes.
0 for 7, folks.
0 for 7. You know what it felt like? 0 for 38.
Might as well.
It felt like getting on the power play is supposed to feel like such a rush and such an opportunity. When you're a fan and your team gets on the power play, you're supposed to want to call people in from the other room. Hey, they're on a power play. Get back here quick. You can get the nachos later. Get back here quick. Right? It didn't feel like that by the end. It felt like, oh, gosh, they got another power play. How are they going to? Yup, there you go. Never mind. Svetch gave it back. We're good. Like, it felt a little like that, right? A little Murphy's Law. A little what can go wrong will go wrong. They hit the post. Oh, they got too fancy. They tried to make one more pass. Oh, the whatever it is. You need to be better on special teams. Jordan Stahl, captain, here he is talking about needing a better start and better special teams.
Yeah, it's clear our start and our special teams were the difference tonight, and we've always talked about that all year long. Special teams is, you win that battle, you have a really good chance of winning, and we didn't tonight. So both of them weren't good enough, obviously, and PK's got to be better, and power play's got to be better.
This is not a problem from week 1, game 1. The penalty kill, Dennis brought it up on Friday for our Hurricanes and Cons, or Hurriconfidence and Hurriconcerns, or Thursday, whatever day that is. He said PK.
Yep.
And it is kind of the logic behind if it's a problem against, or even if it's a nagging problem, if it's a pebble in your shoe against the Islanders, it's going to tear your ACL against a better team, right? If the Islanders can expose a flaw, the Rangers will be able to tear that opening wide open. You know what I mean? So against the Islanders, what was it, a 72% kill percentage, something along those lines, 72 point something? Yeah. Against the Rangers, that's good for a 0, which is what it was in Game 1.
In the regular season, they had the best penalty kill in the NHL at just over 86%. In the playoffs, now including yesterday's 0 for 2, 61%.
Great special teams on both sides during the regular season.
Yeah.
And a little bit to be desired in the postseason. Now, your numbers aren't going to, you don't get to mix in playing the bad teams like you do during the regular season. Your numbers aren't going to be as good in that case in the postseason as they are in the regular season. That's just logical, but you can't have that big of a drop-off, especially if you're not making them pay also, right? It'd be one thing if you gave up 2 power play goals, but you scored 1 or 2 yourself. You just can't get beat like that and expect to beat a good team like the Rangers. And then an additional deal there, Freddie wasn't quite the superstar levels of Freddie that he's been over the last month and a half since he came back from his blood clotting issue. Was it 83% save percentage? He'd been hovering in the 90s pretty darn consistently since he got back. Again, you're not going to do that through the postseason because you're playing better opponents, you're playing better forwards, but you got to be better than you were last night.
Stakes are higher.
And you can't let up that 4th goal.
Our program director, Paul Eihander, told us earlier today, he pointed out to us that every team in the first round of the playoffs that lost in their first round series lost the special teams battle. Like, statistically backed it up. If you lost the special teams battle overall in the series, all 8 of those teams, done. They're gone.
It is
simple as that.
It is funny how sometimes it's that simple.
It's that simple.
I have those thoughts all the time in football where it's like, oh, look at this. The 4 teams in the conference championship, they won the turnover battle in every round of the postseason. It's like, oh, you win special teams over a series? You're going to set yourself up to advance. Are there weird outliers? Yes. But if it's that simple, it has to be a priority. And I saw right there where there were some media members at practice today for the Canes. I did see a picture of Rod huddled up with Power Play 1, right? And they're out there late in the practice. Those 5 guys were to be a fly on the wall. I wish I knew what Rod was saying, but I guarantee you it was something trying to get them into a better rhythm.
Shoot.
Hey, guys. You know when you're on the ice in this group, they have 1 less player. Use the space and shoot.
Shoot the puck.
Somehow I think Rod was a bit more nuanced than that. Maybe some higher level thoughts.
Shoot more.
Dummies. Smacked him on the helmet and walked away. Skated away. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Capital Financial and my buddy Coach Pete. The life insurance that you thought you knew, or your parents' version of life insurance, it's a thing of the past. It's time to embrace game-changing amendments to the world of life insurance. It can help you along your path to retirement. If you're ready to learn about the practical ways you can utilize life insurance in your financial plan, well, no one likes to talk about life insurance, but the new and improved life insurance can get you pumped on some of the alternate strategies when you talk about it with Capital Financial. Get this. Coach Pete tells me you could even use the death benefit to pay for any long-term care expenses tax-free. This is one of the many benefits of the new generation of life insurance. But Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial can walk you through the best way to put your policy to work for you and your financial future. So go ahead and give them a call. Call right now, and Coach Pete will walk you through this and hook you up with a copy of one of his best-selling books. Be sure to tell him I sent you. Call 800-691-3215. That's 800-691-3215. 888-203-1515. Make sure he knows Tim from 99.9 The Fan sent you. Or you can just text my name, Tim, T-I-M, to 600-700. That's T-I-M to 600-700 if you want to text. We also need numbers game contestants coming up right here. We have NF. We looked it up. Very popular musical artist. NF.
Hip-hop artist, yeah.
Hip is coming to PNC Arena on May 22nd. We have a pair of tickets to give to the winner. So NF tickets. He's very creative, by the way. They are his initials. That's how he named himself. NF. If you want to go ahead and win the tickets, if you want to play the numbers game, call in right now. We need 2 contestants. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
Here comes Kuznetsov with the touch and the slowdown. Kuznetsov waiting. Varlamov comes out waiting, dusting it off, waiting, shoots, it scores!
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold, your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet. Choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Sick of the same old Friday night? Get out of your rut and get up to Roxborough for this. You kick back and enjoy. They race for cash prizes. Everyone has a great time at Roxborough Motorsports Park. Come out Friday nights for Freaky Friday. Gates open at 5. Races start at 6. Roxborough Motorsports Park. 65 years in business and still bringing folks from all over for weekly races, dirt drags, live music, and more. Now it's your turn to discover the excitement. Check out this week's schedule at RoxboroughMotorsportsPark.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
It's time to shop sparkling deals. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's multi-million-dollar inventory reduction sale.
Going on now.
Shop jewelry up to 60% off. Diamonds, watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings are all on sale. The perfect time to shop for Mother's Day, anniversary, or engagement rings without breaking the bank. Shop the largest selection of luxury jewelry for less at Bailey's Big Sale. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And as always, we have two contestants on the line. Tyler in Durham and Jeff in Fuquay-Varina. And they have to answer a question to see who gets to go first. We'll start with Tyler in Durham. Tyler, are you there?
I am.
All right. What was your favorite sports part of your weekend? This past weekend, what's the sports-related thing that you appreciated the most?
Well, even though the Canes lost, getting to watch Canes hockey, we're going to be missing that in a few months. And even when you lose some, it's still a good time watching them play.
My favorite part is how you said a few months. I like that. You didn't say, like, we're going to be missing it next week. You said a few months, which I appreciate.
After this weekend.
Jeff in Fuquay-Varina, you're up next. What was the sports highlight of your past weekend?
Sitting around with the family watching the Canes, even though they lost.
Two very similar answers, so tie goes to whoever goes first. Tyler and Durham, both good answers, but Tyler and Durham, you get to go first. I'll choose you. The categories you get to choose from: NFL out for a drive, all players with kind of automobile-related names. NFL a little bit of Chris, all players with the first name Chris. NBA current players only, and NHL Canes and Whalers only.
Oh, we'll do NFL Chris.
All right, these are all players with the first name Chris. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
19.
Incorrect. Chris Collinsworth, Cincinnati Bengals.
80.
Correct. Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans.
27.
Incorrect. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
11.
Incorrect. Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans.
Pass.
Chris Cooley, Washington Redskins.
85.
Incorrect. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
13.
Incorrect. Chris Johnson, Tennessee Titans.
29.
Incorrect. Chris Cooley, Washington Redskins.
13.
Oh, little extra horn there. You were dancing around Chris Godwin. He actually has worn two different numbers with Tampa Bay. Number 12 and number 14. You said a whole bunch of teens, but you didn't get 12 or 14. Chris Johnson, you were within one. You said 27, I believe, most recently. He wore number 28. And Chris Cooley with Washington wore number 47. So he was kind of one of those fullback numbers on a tight end. You did get the one. You got Chris Collinsworth. So we'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and sit on hold, all right?
All right, thanks.
Yep. Jeff in Fuquay, are you there? Fuquay-Varina.
Yes, sir.
All
I'm
right.
here.
The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL out for a drive, NBA current players only, and NHL Canes and Whalers only.
NFL out for a drive.
All right. All of these players have kind of automobile transportation-related names. I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have a pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Derek Carr, New Orleans Saints.
34.
Incorrect. Jerome Ford, Cleveland Browns.
82.
Incorrect. Derek Carr, New Orleans Saints.
80.
Incorrect. Jerome Ford, Cleveland Browns.
Pass.
Cadillac Williams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
34.
Incorrect. Derek Carr, New Orleans Saints.
11.
Incorrect. Jerome Ford, Cleveland Browns.
32.
Incorrect. Cadillac Williams. That's a heartbreaker because you guessed 34 for Derek Carr. It's not his number. He wears number 4. You guessed 34 for Cadillac Williams. That's not his number. He wore number 24. You didn't guess 34 for Jerome Ford. His number was 34.
Oh.
So That's actually probably more difficult than actually getting them right. Unfortunately, 0, not enough to get a win. Not starting us off on a hot streak for the week, but hopefully you had some fun playing.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Of course. That brings us to Tyler in Durham. Tyler, you are the winner.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad one was enough to do it.
One was enough to do it. You get the NF tickets. He will be coming to PNC Arena May 22nd. So enjoy the concert, all right?
Great. Thank you.
All right, sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you. Not a hot start for the week, everybody. Obviously, every single day we play the numbers game. We do it right at about 5:30. Start putting on your thinking caps about 5 o'clock and start getting into the mix, right? Sit there and think about it. Want to get something. We can't have 2 people come on the show to play, 2 contestants, and walk away with 1 between 2. That's not going to get it done. But the best part about the numbers game is there is always another day. So we'll be playing again tomorrow. Here's the other rundown for tomorrow. We will continue our signed puck giveaway game. So tomorrow at 4:33, because it is a Canes game day, a hockey night in Carolina, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. At 4:33, we'll be taking first goal scorer predictions. So again, if you want to get prepared, if you want to start thinking about it ahead of time, who do you get the feeling will be the first goal scorer for the Canes in tomorrow's game? And then also pick a period. So Aho in the first is a fairly popular answer.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be coming up at 4:33 tomorrow. We did not have anyone that said Slavin in the first.
No one. I don't think even with people that online submissions or anything like that.
Right.
We had a lot of people with like Jake Guentzel was one. Jarvis was a big popular one as well. Burns. But Svetch was a big popular. Even Tom Dundon, the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, was like, Svetch in the first. Let's go.
He said Andre.
He's like, Andre. He said Andre. I'm going Andre. Didn't even say Svetch. Andre.
That's how you.
I guess when you're the owner of the team, you can
they
use
actually
first
know
names.
each other. It's a different beast.
When you sign his checks, you're allowed to say his first name. But no one said Slavin in the first.
So we need to. We
need
to get one.
We need to get one here.
We need to get one.
We've only given away one signed puck so far.
I will say the Canes' first goal scorers this postseason run have been some unusual guys. There hasn't been a lot of Aho in the first. There hasn't been a lot of Guentzel in the first. They've been some more of the unusuals. Jarvis was once, and we gave away a puck that time.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll take 3 official contestants tomorrow at 4:33. If they get it right, they'll get a signed puck from one of their favorite Canes.
Yeah, we've had Burns in the first.
Yeah,
be a score.
Now I have to go back and look at them all.
I had to go because I think in the we had Teravainen in the second period.
Yep, the second threw them off.
Yeah, this is Teravainen in the second period back against the Islanders. So yeah, it's bounced around quite a bit amongst guys scoring.
Either way, hey, there was a roast last night for Tom Brady, and I have a question that's going to bring that right home to Carolina. But first, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Actually, I want to throw this one out there to everyone out there that knows somebody or is getting married, let's say in the next year. You're planning maybe engagement parties. Actually, I had a buddy of mine that had an engagement party this past weekend. Engagement parties, bachelorette parties, just something to do when the families come into town before you actually tie the knot. Well, if you want to keep some, extended family, hey, something fun for them to do before they come into town, go to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, because here's something that you can do at Deep River Sporting Clays that you might not think about when you think about Deep River. Yes, it's a great place to go shoot. It's a beautiful 65-acre area just minutes away from the heart of Raleigh and the heart of the Triangle, but they have these wonderful outdoor pavilions. So after you go through your round of clays, they can have food and drink ready there for you if you book ahead of time. So when your friends, your family, whatever it is that you're doing, can come together and have that bonding time, have that fellowship together after you get done with your round of clays. That's something that Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School can provide for you. So if you're looking to do something fun with the friends and family, people that might be coming into town, an experience that you're going to want to have again and again, go to deepriversportingclays.com. Book your adventure now. Book your time now at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School so you can have that experience after you get done with your round of clays. Again, deepriversportingclays.com, deepriversportingclays.com. Let the adventure begin.
Just to follow up on the conversation we were having, here are the first goal scorers for the Canes so far this postseason. Evgeny Kuznetsov, right out the gate.
That's right.
Teuvo Teravainen in the second period. Brent Burns in the first.
Yep.
Seth Jarvis in the first. That one's traditional.
That was
we gave away a puck for that one. Teuvo Teravainen in the first, and then Slavin in the first.
Okay.
So Teuvo twice.
Maybe that's the safe play.
Maybe.
It's 1/3 of the time. Safe play there.
Keep that in mind for tomorrow when we field callers on the subject at 4:33. Tom Brady was roasted last night. Who would you like to see roasted with ties to Carolina? Because the Tom Brady one was funny, and you know they're going to copy it. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Hey, it's Meredith in Thesis Jewelers and Garner. Mother's Day is right around the corner, and who else better to shop with than a mother-daughter team? My mom and I have handpicked every item in the store. Some of our favorites is the popular Diamond Flex Spangles, Diamond Hoops, and our Emphasis upgradable Diamond Stud program. But all moms really love the Diamond Tennis necklaces. We have them in all sizes and colors. I can assure you we have an unbelievable selection that any mom will love. It's already been mom approved. So shop in Thesis Jewelers this Mother's Day to find that perfect gift she would cherish for a lifetime.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
On average, people spend over 1/3 of their life sleeping, yet most sleep disorders go undiagnosed.
I'm Megan Gigling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sleep struggles left untreated can lead to health problems and have a serious effect on your quality of life. We've served the Triangle for 20 years. Let us help you get the sleep you've been dreaming of.
If you're in need of a sleep study, a knowledgeable doctor, CPAP machine, or supplies, Parkway has you covered. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Elevate your driving with Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. For a limited time, when you trade your 2010 or newer Buick or GMC vehicle, receive up to $6,000 off and a $2,500 Wilkinson discount on a 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. Offer valid on stock number 24490. Similar offers available for others. GMC, we are professional grade. Visit our showroom at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford or find us online at wilkinsoncars.com.
It is not often in this life that you can save both time and money and make your life better in the process. So here's how I'm going to save you time and money. We're getting rid of contact lenses, getting rid of glasses, getting rid of everything that goes along with them. Money, those things all cost a lot of money. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to Dr. Lori Travers LASIK, and we're going to let her work her magic on us as she did on me. 5 minutes per eye, totally painless, back to work the next day. And here's the best part. We're going to give you $1,000 off. Go right now. Travers LASIK, Dr. Lori Travers, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And by the way, 0% financing for 24 months is available. 919-510-6830. Make the call now. And on top of that, we can save $1,000 right now. All you got to do, go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. TraversLASIK.com. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan Sea Salt Body Wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family
Overdrive
from
on
stealing
99.9
it.
The Fan will continue with a conversation about the latest rumored Panthers signing. Rashaad Penny expected to sign with the Panthers. What does that mean about their offseason? Stick around.
Every away game, join the Canes to cause
That's going to do it for us here
chaos
on
at Carolina
Overdrive on
Ale House's
99.9 The
downtown
Fan.
Raleigh location.
Thank you to Dennis for keeping
Enjoy
us
an
up
ice
and
cold
running. Thank you to
beer
all
and
of
hang
you
out with
for
the
tuning
Canes
in.
crew and
Hopefully you'll do so
Stormy,
again
with
tomorrow
TVs
for
on
Hockey
every
Night in
wall.
Carolina.
Every
We'll see you at
seat is
3.
a front row seat. Come get your favorite wings, grab an R&D Storm Brew, and watch the playoffs with us at Carolina Ale House. All Caniacs and all ages are welcome. Go Canes!
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Tom Brady roast last night on Netflix, surprisingly very funny. I wasn't planning on watching it. Had a buddy text me about half hour in. Are you watching the Brady roast? I said, no. Is it good? He said, yeah, real good. I said, all right, I'll throw it on. Started from the beginning about a half hour late. It was funny. Like I'm not the biggest like, hey, you come to your sports radio show to get television and movie recommendations, but hey, if you're looking for a way to kill a couple hours tonight, it's funny. You probably saw a lot of the funny jokes on social media already. They got passed around pretty quickly. But I'll say this, kind of the best part was that the best jokes felt like they had a little truth buried in them. Raised the stakes a little bit. Right? There's like when Brady and Belichick were giving each other a little bit of guff, it felt like they were actually like, no, really. I'm just saying, it was funny. What it was also was it was successful. It's become a thing on social media. People are talking about it. People want to watch it. I guarantee you there's people having a conversation like we just had all over the place. So what happens when something is successful in media and or sports?
By the way, I had no idea it was second place. I had no idea.
Well, you need to run in some circles that follow Tom Brady better.
That's the last thing I'm probably going to do. I might follow golf before I do that. Good Lord.
He did bring up golf.
I'm sure he did.
Oh, no, Peyton Manning brought up golf.
Oh, of course.
Either way, it was successful. It's being talked about, right? Just sitting here, I have 3 TVs up in the studio on 3 different kind of sports shows, one of them on us, which is, yeah, it happens. But I've, like, throughout the show, you look up there, you just see people at podiums. I'm like, oh, that's from the Brady. Like, everyone's talking about it. So what happens when something is that successful in media or sports? People copy it. And I've already seen who's going to be roasted next. Listen, here's why the Brady thing worked. Because Brady is really, really famous. You wouldn't expect him to be there. And a couple of the comedians did not hold back. I mean, there were jokes that Tom Brady's, like, marriage was joked about in a way that I'm surprised he would allow that. Like, there's no reason for him to be up there and doing that. Like, why would he expose himself to that? But he did, and he laughed, and that's the only way the whole night works. So before you scream out like, well, if it's got to be somebody that good, it's got to be LeBron, consider if LeBron would sit up there and take the jokes about his most personal details. Jeter is wildly, wildly private. But let's flip it even more specific. Somebody with ties to Carolina. Who with ties to North Carolina, played here, grew up here, went to college here, would you want to see get roasted?
Well, I mean, Michael Jordan then, right?
I don't know. Like, he's so utterly private.
There's that, too.
I would love to see it. Love to see it. I think it could be really funny. And you know what else would be really funny? If you got Barkley involved, because they're not exactly on speaking terms, but Barkley would be hilarious roasting Michael Jordan. What about Cam?
Oh, Cam Newton would be great.
Is he famous enough for a national audience?
Oh, yeah. I'd say so.
I'd say so.
He's a league MVP in the NFL. Yeah, absolutely.
How, like, on a pure...
Because he would clap back, too. Like, his roast back to everybody would be hilarious.
Like, on a pure size, like volume and area, how big is the hat he would wear to his own roast?
Oh, huge. Massive.
Here's my proposal. If I were doing it and it had to be someone Carolina related, it would be David Tepper.
Oh, gosh.
And I would get the meanest comedians I possibly could.
Could he handle that?
No.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, there was only one joke for the Brady thing that Brady actually stood up, went to the comedian Jeff Ross and said, "Don't say that bleep again." And it was a joke about Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
Oh.
It was a massage joke.
Ah.
But my point is, Brady is a 100 millionaire, and he was kind of like, hey, nothing's off limits, go nuts. The billionaire was there were off limits things. So I don't know if Tepper would be able to do it, but the one thing it did for Tom Brady last night, I'm not like a huge Tom Brady fan. I don't think he's like the most likable guy in the world. He was humanized a bit by being like a true participant in it. He was awkwardly laughing when jokes were made about him. Like, Drew Bledsoe gave him the business. Andrew Schultz gave him the business. What's the woman comedian? Blonde. She was Nikki Glaser. Nikki Glaser gave him the business. Some guy who I don't recognize that was sitting next to Dana White in the stands grabbed a microphone and walked up, gave him the business. There were quite a few, I would love to see David Tepper have to deal with that, is basically what I'm saying. It would be hilarious. And it might humanize him, may even buy him some likability points. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly here for my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. The chase for the cup is on. And if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. That's a pretty sweet deal. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. And if you're a new customer, once you sign up using promo code TIMD, once you bet $5, you will instantly get $200 in bonus bets. That's $200 instantly in bonus bets once you use promo code TIMD, TIMD, to sign up with no spaces on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. One early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. That's going to just about do it for us here on The Drive, but don't worry. Overdrive is coming up next, where once again we can dive into the special teams and goaltending matchups that led Game 1 for the Canes to be a Rangers win. We have a hockey night in Carolina tomorrow. Tune in for the show at 3. Until then, have a wonderful night, everybody.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are